Tired of the price of everything going up these days? Groceries, rent, you name it, it's all going up. But not at Metro. They've got your back. Metro has lowered their prices and are giving you a 5-year price guarantee on talk, text, and data. One line, now 20% lower. Family plans, also lowered. Oh, and you also get a free 5G phone. All with no ID required and no activation fees. Stop by your neighborhood Metro store, visit metrobystmobile.com, or call to find out about their amazing offers. Bring your number. Not available if currently at T-Mobile or with Metro in the past 180 days. Guarantee covers monthly price of on-network talk, text, and 5G data for customers activating on an eligible plan. Exclusions apply. Details at metrobystmobile.com.
You want the best for your child. K-12 can help them gain the skills they need to reach their full potential while giving you the support you need to get them there. K-12-powered schools are tuition-free, accredited online public schools for students in kindergarten through 12th grade. Their state-certified teachers make online learning interactive and engaging, allowing your child to learn at their pace from the safety of home. Join the more than 3 million families who've chosen K-12. Go to k12.com/podcast today to learn more. That's k12.com/podcast.
This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BWB, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, this on the regular dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
We got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
This is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, and that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
Hey, folks. Welcome to this week's edition of One Nation Radio. I'm James Porter. Here, I have Rich Latta. What's going on, man?
Hola. How's it going, my friend?
It's been going okay. We have a guest for this week's show. Actually was in place. Rich, you want to do the introductions for us, please?
Sure thing. I had this idea in the Discord probably even before Daniel knew it. Like when I knew he was going to be at the show, I was like, yo, I think it would be really cool if we have somebody that's going to be at the show come on the show. I've known Daniel for a while in the Discord, always has a great sense of humor throughout different, places I've known him. Really respect, the stuff he talks about. So joining us joining us directly from Mexico. But tell me the state that you're in, Daniel. Daniel Alemán will be joining us.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Daniel, and I'm joining you from the state of Veracruz. Veracruz, exactly.
Hell yeah. So how far is that from Mexico City?
Like an 11-hour bus in bus. Yeah, I did that.
Wow,
man.
11-hour in bus, yeah. It was, I left in Monday in the night, like 9-10 p.m. local time, and I woke up like in the morning in Mexico City by the next day.
Wow. And that was both, and you stayed from Monday to Saturday. Correct. Yeah, so man. How was that? How was that trip?
Man, it was like one of the best trips I have ever made because first I was going to go with some friends, but they couldn't make it. So when they say, hey man, we can join you, we have some commitments, blah, 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 and it's like, okay, fine. I'm not going to miss AEW, man. Like Kenny Omega is coming. And then Tony Khan made a move, but let's talk about that later. when they announced the show in April, it was like, man, I'm not going to miss this. Like, I said it in the Discord for the people that are in the Social Suplex Discord. I said it there. Like, this was for me a once-in-a-lifetime event. I don't know if they were going to return, but after what I saw in the week, I think they are going to return. But I didn't know at the time, and it was like, hey, this is maybe my only shot to see Ospreay, to see Kenny, to see Swerve, to see the Bucks, and to see a big-time Mystico match. So I said, hey, I have to go.
Yeah, man, that is really cool. Like, I think like the longest trip we made, like for some wrestling, like I lived in Florida at the time, and we went to New Orleans, like, and James drove 10 hours to New Orleans to for WrestleMania weekend in 2018, and we went to like all the indie shows around WrestleMania that weekend.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's the longest. That's the longest like drive. Yeah. And then the 2019 went to New York for WrestleMania in the same situation. Man, it's just one of those things where we take it for granted the access that Americans have to like international talent when it comes to it. Like, there's always going to be some big show, and there will be people from Japan or Mexico or from Europe that will fly in to do these shows. It's not the same thing as it is in Mexico. So I really appreciate you coming on here and telling us the experience, and like we've kind of been we've been very fortunate to be able to see like the people you've named. Like, I haven't seen Mexico, but like everybody else I've actually been able to see multiple times in America, let alone the trip I took to Japan a few years ago. But so like it's really glad to have you on here, Daniel.
Yeah, thank you so much, James, and I'm happy to talk about the show.
Yeah, man. So first was a Tuesday show, which was a CMLL versus AEW kind of ROH Global War show. How was that show? I'm going to pull the results up too, if you don't remember.
Yeah, me too, to remember.
That's a lot of wrestling. That's a lot. Like when you go to these places, you go to wherever for a bunch of wrestling shows, you forget a lot of things really quick because it happens all very, very fast, and all kind of just, you kind of just forget all the stuff you saw. It's like binge watching. It's like binge watching something. It's like, I did see that. I mean, there's been times where one time I remember once where like me and Rich went to a episode of Raw, and then we had to talk about it. And maybe 6 weeks later, we're like, wait, this was the one in Tampa. We went to this show. We forgot it happened. So pull up the car. So pull up the car so we can get a reference. So you just got to jog some memories.
Yeah, so here's a card that was on paper. It was Persephone versus Red Velvet. We got the CMLL World Tag Team belts. Hermanos Chavez, so Angel De Oro and Niebla Roja versus the Crew. Action Andretti and Leo Rush. We got Neon versus Hologram. Atlantis Jr. versus Josh Alexander. You have the Guerreros, Lagornos, Gran Guerrero, and Ultimo Guerrero versus Infernales. Euphoria and Averno versus the Don Callis family. A bunch of old guys versus the young bumping stooges. Konosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, Hechicero, and Rocky Romero, the public enemy number one in Arena Mexico.
Correct. Rocky Romero, people, if you haven't seen Rocky Romero in CMLL mode, he's a beast.
Is it solely because of the Volador feud?
Part of that, yeah.
Okay.
In that feud with Volador is when people started to notice him. Not only in Arena Mexico level, like the usual people that go to the shows, like in online level, like people that talk about CMLL, like, hey, this Rocky Romero Volador feud, it's very good.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the match of the week, what everybody's talking about, got 5 stars from Dave. Bandito versus Mascara Dorada. Tell us a little bit, at least, about what you remember out of some of these matches. Anything that stuck out for you?
Yeah. I agree with Dave. Bandito versus Dorada for the ROH World Title is the best match of the week. I felt that way in the arena. I think no other match in Wednesday or on Friday reached the level that Dorada and Bandido did on this match. it was clearly the best match of the show. Like Bandido, man. Like I watch him on television. And I saw him. It's like, oh man, this guy is good. But in the arena, this guy, it's not normal what he does.
Yeah.
It's and Máscara Dorada is like, man, this guy, like, oh, I'm going to quote WWE, Gravity forgot him, but Máscara Dorada is very good. It's very good. He's fantastic. He's like 23. Like he's very young and he's only going to improve. But Bandido is right now in his prime. He's right now the guy. The guy. He's so good.
Yeah, Bandido came on our radar. I was fortunate to see him in person for the first time in like 2019. We saw him against Will Ospreay in New York. And that was incredible. And it was like, what I've always loved about Bandido is obviously the mask. He looks cool as fuck.
Yeah.
The name, the image, the bandit cowboy joint, the colors that he wears. Like he's got fly white gear, red gear, black gear, blue gear. Like just all the colors are covered. And then like
the strongman stuff. The strongman stuff.
Flying, the strongman stuff. The change of direction. Like he's so fantastic. Like and it's like I really think he should be like the biggest luchador in the world, like relatively soon.
Yes, I agree. And I don't know, man. If Tony Khan doesn't book this guy in like a real main event level, it's a fumble. It's a fumble. Like
absolutely,
it's so good. It's so good.
Like all the guys that we always talk about, like those big six, like the elite guys that are, you know, in their early 30s and stuff. I don't even think Bandido's 30 yet. He may be getting close, but that's a guy you can plug in there with any of those guys and it would go off. And he's over in America the same way.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And the thing with Dorada is just like, he's always been really fucking good, but it's always like not to the extent of other people that are boomer bust, but like there is clearly a slight inconsistency in his performance from time to time, and maybe that's just due to motivation. But when he's on, he's really fucking good. So like I have to watch that match. I did not know that match was even set. But so you said it was Atlantis versus Josh Alexander. Was it junior or senior?
Junior.
Okay. Why would
give us a rundown?
Why? Yeah.
It
why
was
do they hate this
definitely
man's guts?
the funniest match of the show, and I'm going to say why. Because they do the entrances, but this is this marquee CMLL crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people that went to this show went the next day to Grand Slam.
Okay.
So it was the Smarky CMLL crowd, and what the Smarky CMLL crowd does, they boo the shit out of Atlantis. Yeah. And so they start the match. Josh Alexander is clearly working Rudo, Atlantis babyface, technical, but people don't buy it. Like every time Atlantis goes to the offensive, people boo him. They clearly don't like him. At that point, I was like, hey, Atlantis is my guy. I like him. I think Atlantis Jr. is very good. Like, I put him in the level of guys like Neon, like Sandokan. Like, he's very good. And I try to support him, but I'm me versus 10,000 people booing the shit out of this guy. Like, they don't like him. They absolutely don't like him.
Is it because of the earlier push? Was it just because it was too soon?
Cops Lucha Blog explain it better. It's like a combination. It's like a combination of nepotism and people think he's not that good. He got the push very quickly.
Yep.
It's a combination of things. Yeah.
I thought by the time was the anniversary show 2 years ago. I thought by the time he had that match that went off, I thought that would have saved it, but I'm not keeping in touch with what's going on in Mexico as much. But I saw that match go, I was like, okay, so it seemed like he's figured something out, but much like when it comes to even successes with people that get pushed that people don't want to buy or they've already, dug in, even when you have a match that goes off, they'll still be like, yeah, you got lucky that round. There's more. Do it again. Do it again. And so apparently when I time to check back in, it was like, oh, he didn't. It wasn't enough. Apparently, it wasn't enough. So yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah.
Who out of the foreigners like on this show do you think kind of like made like an impression that really hadn't been there before? Like we had like Red Velvet, you had the Crew. I know Leo Rush has worked. I'm not sure if he's been in CMLL before, but Action Andretti was there. Josh Alexander, Hologram, who was a AAA guy before coming into CMLL, and then you got your Fletcher, Takeshita, different guys like that.
Yeah, Leo Rush is low key the best guy on the week. Like the All-Star MVP of the week, we can call it like that. It's clearly Bandido, but Leo Rush by Friday, it's already like getting cheers. Like, hey, it's this guy that looks like
the singer.
It's like the pop star. Yeah, like the singer called Kalimba. Like if you saw the pictures, they're clearly twins. So by this show, it's like, hey, this guy, he's working rudo, like he's facing Hermanos Chavez for the CMLL tag titles. Very good match, very well worked. People bought the finishes, very well worked match. But by that moment, it's like Leo Rush is getting like, hey, this guy. And by Wednesday, by Grand Slam, in the 4-way, it's like, hey, we like this guy. He looks like this guy. Yeah.
That's great. Shout out to Leo Rush. Yeah, cause I saw the Kalimba stuff with Leo Rush. It's the same hairstyle. They're about the same height. Yeah, and they brought him in for the show, which is just amazing. Whoever made the call was like, "Hey, man, I can get him here." That's amazing.
One of the biggest pops on Friday. Let me tell you that. One of the biggest pops. The moment Kalimba walk in the ring,
they got to do a song together.
And they do the thing. Rocky Romero, like, hey, what is happening? And Leo Rush and Kalimba doing this, like, hey, the Spider-Man meme, right?
Yep.
And one of the biggest pops on the Friday show.
Awesome, man.
Yeah,
man. And then you got to see Mercedes wrestle a couple of times. She worked the Friday main event, correct?
No, the Friday main event was Bandido and Hologram versus the Sky Team, which is Dorada and Místico. But Mercedes worked against La Catalina, defended the CMLL Women's Championship, which she won on Grand Slam. I think Mercedes Monet. She's fantastic. Like, I thought the Zeuxis match on Wednesday was I think we are going to talk about Grand Slam fully later on, but the Zeuxis match was very good, but the Catalina match on Friday was even better, and that was a very good rudo performance from Mercedes Monet.
Yeah, she's in her element. She's always been better as a heel. She always has.
Yeah, this is maybe the best run Mercedes, aka Sasha Banks, has had in her entire career. I don't know if you guys agree on that.
I absolutely agree. She's basically ever since the getting past last summer in the match at Wembley with Britt Baker, she's been on a run. She's been on a run, banger after banger after banger, and the matches are mostly different. And I think her game has changed. I think that over the past few months, like she's put on some muscle mass. I think that she's actually been like almost like anticipation for this past week, where it's like she's doing more base stuff when she was wrestling a smaller women, and then now against oh my god, I just blanked on her name just now. Against Zeuxis, like you saw her bring out some of her flying stuff, and it was like, yep. I mean, it's just she's trying new things, and it's really cool. And this was going to keep her. This was going to keep her interesting going forward. Is like she keeps adding new elements to her game. I think it's been really fun to watch over this past year.
Absolutely. So let's talk about Grand Slam, man, because like this for me, just watching on TV, it was just like a really special show, kind of a standalone show, but also had enough elements to move a few things forward storyline wise. But I think that's almost secondary. What was the arena like just walking in there? Because usually I can tell how good a show is going to be almost If a certain level of wrestling is met, I know how a crowd is going to react. How did that building feel walking in there with like, you know, your compatriots and just like seeing like the love, because the way it came through on TV, like they clearly watched this company, like, and it seemed like everybody knew exactly what was going on.
Yes. The moment I walk in the arena, like I knew instantly, like, hey, this is not only the smarky CMLL crowd I said before. Like this is a crowd that knows which wrestlers they are going to do exactly that thing. Like the biggest example is like when Brody King walked in, people started to barf. Like that's entirely an AEW thing. Like it's not like Brody King had a WWE run before, like he was doing that, or he was big in Mexico before. Brody King, I think it was maybe his first Mexico match ever. This Wednesday. I don't know. I'm not saying that's for a fact, but he has not worked Mexico on a regularly level that Mexicans know him, and he has not done a WWE run before. So the moment he walks in and people start screaming and barfing with him, it's like I knew, hey, this is an AEW crowd. And I was locked in the moment I knew that, because my fear going to the show, and maybe people with me shared the feeling, is like, hey, this is a Fed crowd. This is a WWE crowd that people want to see, I don't know, Adam Copeland or Chris Jericho or something like that. They're going to pop for him, and they want to see the ex-WWE guys. Which, by the way, they got big pops, so they were people clearly for that. But in the majority, or there was a big mix, like, this is an AEW crowd that pay tickets to see an AEW crowd, and they want to see AEW wrestling.
Yeah, and I just looked up on Cage Match. Apparently, according to Cage Match, that was his first match in Mexico ever.
Yes. So,
look at that.
There you go.
So we opened up in Mexico, like Excalibur's going nuts. He's speaking Spanish on the broadcast. They're showing the arena. They're swinging the camera around, and it's like, sounds deafening in there, man.
Yeah.
Like,
and look, they had to swing it around because like they were able to show, like, hey, we have a sold out crowd. We're going to show you every part of the arena. Look at every inch of this arena. So yeah.
Yeah. The first man out was Hangman Page, and he came out. And he was speaking your language. I didn't know what he was saying, but I loved it. Like, I thought it was like, this is awesome. And then I found out what he said later. Oh, man, it was great. Like, how much did that mean to hear this guy, like, come out and just speak your first? Also, how good was his Spanish? And then how did people kind of feel about that and react to it?
Well, first, Hangman Page, I don't know if he's a good actor or he actually knows Spanish. But his Spanish is very good. Like, I was impressed during the promo. Like, when he said, hola, mi nombre es Hangman. Like, hey, yeah. Classic gringo, speaking holas, mi nombre es tal, to get a pop.
Yeah,
like,
that's some shit you expect Jack Jarrett to do, showing up at Triple Mania, yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't know, like, when NBA goes to Mexico City to go to a game, and the usual player, like, hey, hola, my nombre is tal. It's my name. Like,
aren't you glad they kept Jeff Jarrett backstage? They didn't let Jeff Jarrett come out.
They let him into the country.
Who the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So he does that, and I was like, okay, now he's going to speak in English. But then he continues in Spanish, and he continues in Spanish, and he continues in Spanish. And I was like, hey, wait a minute. This guy knows Spanish? He's from Virginia. He's white. He's blonde. How he knows Spanish? And
look, oh my God, it's a white guy trying in Mexico. I can't believe it. That's great.
Yeah. And I was like, hey, his Spanish is actually very good. And the cadence of the promo, like, he understands what he was saying. That is the reason why I think he actually knows Spanish. Maybe there's a report later that, hey, he actually memorized the promo, you know? He doesn't know Spanish, but as of right now, I think he knows, because the cadence of the promo and the content of what he was saying, let me think that, hey, this guy knows what he's saying. He's actually fluent in Spanish. Like, So in the content of the promo, he puts over, or he talks about Mexican workers that works in his tobacco farm of his family, and he talks about the professionalism and the discipline of Mexican workers, and he puts over, like, he talks very great about the Mexican people, and he connects that to AEW and the CMLL partnership and how people together can change the world, which is like the mantra of the elite, change the world. That I think, I saw the clip with Excalibur. I think he did a very poor job translating the promo live. I think people that doesn't know Spanish didn't understand a thing when Hangman was talking. I think that was the mistake during the promo. It was not Hangman himself. He was like talking to the live crowd. I think AEW should have done a better job translating the promo live during the moment. But like, it was incredible. By the end of it, Hangman was like, and we saw it like in the end of the show, Hangman got a second really big pop.
Yep.
He already won Arena Mexico during that time. Yeah, I was very shocked when she was talking in Spanish, man.
Yeah. It was something where I was just like, wow. Like, and it seemed like such a dichotomy and a contrast to, like, obviously the WWE and AAA thing is going on right now, and it isn't collaboration. It's like, hey, they bought this thing and they're going to run it however they want to run it. Maybe hands off, maybe hands on, whatever. I think they kind of drew a line in the sand in this. And real quick, what do you make of the WWE and AAA stuff, if you've paid attention to it at all?
I didn't watch Worlds Collide like completely. I didn't watch it fully, but it was I think it was the best AAA show of the year because it was no bullshit. It was no bullshit, man. Like,
in
Conan
got some bullshit in it.
Bro, Conan is a fraud as a booker. He's very bad. Like, people know, man, like what Americans think of AAA, or like Americans think of AAA, we Mexicans think the same thing. It's like, hey, this shit sucks. This shit sucks. This shit sucks. And then it was the funniest thing that could happen is, like, Alberto del Rio, Alberto el Patron gets now the babyface pops, like, hey, he got screwed in this WWE buyout, and we want this guy, and we don't want this Vikingo guy. Fuck him.
That's so funny.
Like Triple A fans think that, and it's very funny. Triple Mania Regia, I don't know if you guys saw it. Like, the main event, it was one of the most horrible matches of the year, probably. I don't think there's going to be a very worse match than that. Oof. Yeah, it was terrible. Like, you can laugh about it, but if you actually take it seriously, and if you are a AAA fan, like, you are actually invested in the company, it's like, oh man, what the fuck are they doing? It's so bad. It's so bad. But that's why Worlds Collide is already better than anything AAA has done in the year. Mr. Iguana, we love him. It's our guy. I don't know. I know people are going to say, hey, the new Danhausen, the new Joe Hendry. And yes, he's a meme guy, but hey, it's our meme guy. He deserves it. He has a tremendous indie run. He's a very good worker. And I'm happy he's getting this opportunity and this spotlight.
Hey,
how long do you think it lasts?
That's a very good question, and it totally depends on him. Like, okay, you could be a Danhausen or you could be an Orange Cassidy. That's the part of
that's kind of I'm trying to figure out. Does he have the? I'm not unfamiliar with him, so I'm trying to wonder. I'm asking you, like, do you think he has the capabilities to be, a guy that has substance with the gimmick? That's all.
Yeah, I think he has the ability to turn that, but hey, he has done that for years at this point. He has no reason to change it, although maybe now that he's maybe considered for an actual main event spot because he was a prelim guy. He was like, hey, you are the first or the second match of the night. You do your usual thing. You get the crowd happy. But hey, the main eventers, that's other part of the card. But now that he's getting toe-to-toe in WWE, he's getting good merch sales, he's probably getting a push as an actual top guy. So let's see. It's sink or swim for him, I think.
That's what you assume.
Yeah.
So it all kind of after the Hangman thing wrapped up.
Yeah.
James, what did you think of this Hangman thing?
I thought it was great, and I will agree with Daniel as far as saying, like, I thought that the translation that Excalibur gave out was sloppy. And I don't mean because obviously he speaks Spanish, but the thing was just like, in comparison to when you hear Charlton New Japan translating, it's like you can clearly see him obviously giving a quick synopsis, knowing that like he has to shut up because he has no clue when the next person is going to start talking again, and he has to be quiet so he can kind of synthesize and summarize, right? And it was, I think he just messed up the timing of it. That thing, and basically got behind the 8 ball and he couldn't catch up.
I thought it was a really good thing for Hangman to do that. He put like a lot of thought into it. I heard so many people saying this is really truly a son of Omega. Goes to the foreign country, speak the language.
Yep.
So Hangman's great, man. Like, and it meant a lot. I think, I don't want to speak for, people in Mexico, but it seems like that was really appreciated. So,
yeah. You see how much better it goes over than when you say, I'm going to talk to you in your language, and he starts doing clapping like Jay White did that one time in Japan. Numbskull. I'm a heel. All right. Jackass.
So we went into the 14-man tag match, and Cash Wheeler could not get in the country. They did not explain why, but, who knows? Yeah. We had Dax Harwood, Volador Jr., the Dog Callis family. So it was Takeshita, Fletcher, Archer, Josh Alexander, and Hechicero against Adam Cole, who got a monster reaction. Brody King, who wore the Abolish ICE shirt, which has since caught viral on right-wing Twitter. Bandito, Daniel Garcia, Atlantis Jr., and Templario.
Yes.
And so when they set this up the week before with Atlantis Sr. and Dax Harwood, I found that shit hilarious. Like, it was like the Dax Harwood and Atlantis Jr. shit, like,
it made all
that
sense
sold me, bro. It was great. It was great.
Yes, it was.
And this all kind of broke down to them. And then we got our first taste of, the rejection of the Atlanti. I'll just say both of them. And
they like it's like the Rock and Roman Reigns. Like, look, we love you, Senior, but Junior, nah, you gotta catch this. You gotta catch these strays on behalf of you trying to co-sign this shit. That's exactly what that was.
Oh man.
So, anything stand out in particular about this one, Daniel?
Yes. Very good opener. The usual fun tags that AEW used to do, always does, and I think it should be there was a period of time, I don't know if you guys agree with me, but there was a period of time like AEW stopped having fun. Like, you watch the shows.
Yes.
You watch the shows, and everything is so serious. And
a bunch of singles matches. There's where are the tags? Where are the group matches? Yes, absolutely. Where are the party matches? Absolutely.
Yes. Yes. And it should be like, hey, this is AEW. We're having fun. You are having fun watching wrestling. And this is the example of what AEW should always do. No matter what the story you're telling, no matter what wrestler you're putting over, you're always doing all-star tags. That's the path the company should take. And they are doing it right now. And it's not a coincidence that the momentum in the wrestling war, if we can call it like this, in AEW is starting to turn, not only because of WWE's mistakes, it's also because AEW is already putting their shit together, I think. This was one example of like many they have done for a couple of months. And this match, Adam Cole is extremely over in Mexico. Brody King, like I said before, he was very over. The Abolish Ice shirt. People in Mexico I didn't saw it in the arena, by the way. I didn't saw that he was wearing the shirt. I found out when I got back in my hotel. Like, hey, Brody King did this. And funnily, I found out because Twitter is a mess, and I found out because a right-wing account is in my phone. Like, it show up, hey, what is AEW doing? Blah, 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 blah. And hey, Brody King did this? I didn't know.
Ain't got to worry about that in WWE right now. No time soon.
How did everybody kind of respond to like Daniel Garcia? Were there people doing the dance? Like, is the dance? Yes. Okay. I was trying to look around, but I couldn't really tell.
Yeah, people did it. Like, not many. Like, people did the swerve dance more than Daniel, for example. Like, but it's normal. Swerve is getting more. He's getting more a main event spot than Daniel Garcia. But people did it. Like Daniel Garcia was very over in the match. But I want to say that Adam Cole got the biggest reaction. And my theory about this, because Adam Cole, I think he probably got the biggest pop of the year. Like, I don't think Adam Cole is getting another bigger pop than this Wednesday. Like, no hard feelings on the guy.
I know what you mean.
But this is the biggest year.
This is the biggest pop you're going to get this year. And wait, I don't know. Maybe he's getting over in some story, and people are genuinely like, "Hey, this is our guy," you know. But the reason I think he got that is because a lot of us, like in the Mexican IWC, if we can call it like this, like that, or in the Latin America IWC. A lot of us watch takeovers. Like
NXT, I knew it. I knew it had to be something involving NXT. I knew it.
Yeah. I don't want to say it. People say, hey, Samoa Joe finally got his flowers.
He was over like a god in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason Samoa Joe got those pops is the same reason why Adam Cole got those pops. We watch NXT Black and Gold era, and those were the guys during that era.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. So,
go ahead, Jim.
Okay, so did you notice anybody? Because me, Josh Smith from Keepin It Strong Style, and me were making jokes about this because, in different areas and different places, they have different. The way the rings set up are totally different, right? So. Like, one of the first things Josh Smith noticed is like, oh, that Arena Mexico ring got to be the CMLL ring. That's not an AEW ring because one, obviously you could tell by the ring post, and two, it's damn near a boxing ring. It was basically like they was bumping on concrete. It felt like so. My question for you is, given that you know how American rings over the last 20 years, so how they kind of look like trampolines compared to what Arena Mexico's ring look like. Did you notice any of the wrestlers? Changing the way they typically wrestle, due to the part where like, because I did too. I just wondered if you saw it too, because
obviously, this was my first time watching them live. Like, I didn't have the pleasure to compare. Like, hey, I went to an American show and now I watch him here in Mexico, so I got like in my very own eyes to see the difference. But I watched them many times on TV, and I watched them here. Like actually, I knew that not because of the ring. I knew it because of the ropes. Like the first rope, it's so between the apron and the first rope, it's so like small compared to the American ones that when you got out of the ring or you want to enter the ring, people couldn't do it. Like they had to adjust in the moment. Bottom. Exactly.
Gotcha. You had to slide through kind of like I'm like shimmying through barbed wire or something, right? Okay.
Yeah. Like
I didn't
people
pick that
couldn't.
One up.
Yeah. I pick it up the moment the first match started. Like it was a fun tag, so then many people walking in and getting out. Yeah.
Okay.
So this one wrapped up with Atlantis ended up getting the roll up on Dax Harwood, and I know he was like a pig and shit. Dax Harwood probably like had a fucking great night.
Absolutely.
Doing this.
Yeah.
He probably didn't think I'm working.
He got a boo, actually. He got a boo. Like Atlantis Senor got booed.
Yeah.
Pinning Dax. Like again, the the funniest match of the show because of Atlantis. Like everyone, hey, Templario, hey, Bandido, hey. Who else was in this match? Adam Cole, yes. Brody King, yes. Daniel Garcia, yes. Atlantis Jr. Boo! bro.
Hechicero.
Takeshi.
Yeah, Hechicero's
some rudos getting pops, man.
Yes.
Some rudos getting pops. Yes. Atlantis Jr. trying to get a comeback, and people boo the shit out of this guy. Man. I don't know, man, because this crowd goes through like maybe 10% of CMLL shows. Mm-hmm. This is not your usual Friday CMLL show. Yeah, this is like people go to this. This kind of crowd goes to Arena Mexico when there's a big show coming up.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if you guys saw the Lucha Brothers versus Místico last year when they showed the last time in Arena Mexico.
No, I didn't. I would have watched it, but I didn't.
Místico got booed, basically. Like,
really?
He tried to make a comeback on Penta, and the guy got booed. Like, yes, Místico.
Arena Mexico turned to Chicago real quick, didn't it? Because that's like man, Lucha Bro. Like,
that's
nuts.
And the reason of that is because CMLL promoted, hey, the Lucha Brothers are coming for the last time in Arena Mexico. Come to the show. So what happened? A lot of Lucha Brothers fans went to the show. They booed the shit out of Místico that night.
Okay.
So same reason with Atlantis. Yeah.
King of the North got a great comment. He says Don Callis himself could have tagged in and got cheered against Atlantis Jr.
Bro, Josh Alexander got pops. Josh Alexander.
That's nuts.
People hate this guy, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crazy. So after that, we ended up with a Mark Briscoe versus Kazuchika Okada match.
What were they? Okay. Daniel, what were they cheering during that match?
The worst match of the show. Kazuchika Okada should be. I don't know. I mean,
they were cheering something. Were they cheering get in this match or something like that?
Yes, they chanted "Otra Lucha," which for the people that don't know, when Mexican crowds chant "Otra Lucha" is because they basically say, "Hey, this match sucks. We want to see another match. Send this to packing. We want to see another match." And I'm sorry, bro.
You're muted, Daniel. I can't hear. Okay, go ahead. Say that again.
Okay, sorry. Yes?
Yeah, go ahead. Say it again. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes. The last time Okada had a singles match in Mexico was in 2006. He was in his rookie years, I think. He wasn't even debuted in Japan. Yeah.
Right.
So that was the last time Okada had a singles match in Mexico. The other times that Okada came to Mexico, he wrestled in multi-man tags or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
This was in nearly 20 years his first singles match in Mexico. He does that. And I absolutely blame Okada for this match. Mark Briscoe tried every single play in the book, every single babyface spot he could find, but I don't know, maybe it was a clash of styles. In like Okada works that slow, he works like that, but this is a Mexican crowd. We want lucha libres,
right.
High style. You are moving constantly. You are popping the crowd, and you're moving.
Right.
And Okada works slow and works slow and works slow. That I think that's the reason. But I mean, Okada, he knows. He trained here. He knows how to work a Mexican crowd. I think he should have done better. And I'm genuinely worried now about the All-In match because he doesn't put an effort in Arena Mexico. Like I said, his final singles match in Mexico was in 2006. 20 years later, he doesn't put an effort. Can I expect him to do a classic again against Kenny Omega in Texas? I don't know. I don't know now. I was so sure.
I mean, he just had an awesome match with Mike Bailey like 2-3 weeks ago. I'm not concerned. I think it's like you mentioned, it's a Styles Clash thing. And like the thing with Okada is he don't get warmed up until the 20-minute call anyway. And that match wasn't gonna go 20 minutes in Arena Mexico with a 2.5 hour time limit on the show anyway. Like I don't think he has succeeded as a TV wrestler on for the most part. I think most of the times people complain about Okada's not as great as people say he is. As far as AEW run has been, yeah, he's not as great because he's like doing TV matches, but pay-per-view matches, I think more by and large, you get that kind of standard of excellence out of him. So I think there's definitely something to that. But look, as you mentioned, they want to see Lucha Libre, and Okada had it in Park. He had the cart in Park for a lot of the match. It was a lot of station to station. It wasn't much high flying. It wasn't much fast paced rope running action. It was more of a brawl. So yeah, that was his mistake.
Yes,
I think Kenny Omega would cut off his foot before he had a bad match with Kazuchika Okada.
Right, in the same way for him too. Yeah, that's not. I'm
kind of doubting Kenny Omega right now. I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, think about what you're saying. I'm doubting Kenny Omega. Okada. All right.
But man, like I'm in the arena, and I'm in the arena. I'm watching Okada for the first time, and I watched this version of Okada, and I saw 10,000 people chanting "Otra lucha, otra lucha!" Like, hey, send this you pack in. We want to see Will Ospreay now.
Bring him out, get elevated.
We want to see the guy.
Yeah, we want to get elevated, man. Like, hey.
I mean, to be fair, right? If you are not too familiar with either one of those guys, and you find out there's a guy, and you just saw how he wrestled, and then there's another guy that's coming out, and you find out he was trained in a wrestling place called the London School of Lucha Libre. It's like, all right, it's gonna be some gentrified Lucha Libre, but at least bring the Lucha Libre out. You know, at least let us see it first.
Yes.
I remember Jane sent me the message like, talk about the London School of Lucha Libre, because I had heard of that before. I was like, man, this shit sounds like some shit that don't actually exist.
Right.
Like, this is some shit that backyarders tell people that, like, this is where I train, but
you know what it sounds like?
Like,
you know what it sounds like? It sound like Emi Sakura in like that Gato move, a little rec room that he was wrestling in the mask. Like that's where he learned how to wrestle. Which we found out that the London School of Lucha Libre was just a damn gymnastics mat.
Bro, what the Brits know about Lucha Libre? Come on.
Exactly. Like first off, think of it like this: I wouldn't trust going to London to get a damn taco or some Mexican food. You think they know how to Mexican wrestle? Absolutely the fuck not. Get out of here. Not a chance.
Yes.
I'm demanding Trish from the Trish and Sarah to go by the London School of Lucha Libre and present photographic proof of this place.
There is no way it still exists unless Will Ospreay is owning and operating it. There's no way it's still around. That's the only way it's still around. Will Ospreay is keeping the doors open to it.
Love it.
Yes, man.
Love it. Up next was perhaps the highlight of the night. For sure, I think the match of the night, in just like flat out, the entrance for Mystico was one of the greatest things I think I've ever seen watching professional wrestling. I'm going to turn it over to Dan before I jump in with my thoughts, but man, Mystico versus MJF, what did you make of this? And then tell us the significance of the entrance and like how that felt.
Yes. First, so we are in commercial break. People like calm down, and then MJF music hits, and usual pop like, "Hey, MJF is here." But the moment we saw the American flag, like that's the moment MJF lose the crowd, because I thought, "Hey, MJF maybe get cheered." The moment I saw the music, I hear the music. Sorry, but the moment he show up the American flag, that's the moment we boo him. Like, "Hey, fuck you. Fuck America, we want Mystico to win this." So
we did too.
And then he discovers the ridiculous Kurt Angle gear. And he's like, "Oh, this guy, man."
It's this white guy that's dressing like Apollo Creed from the Rocky series, except he's dressed in like the MVP bodysuit thing, and it's like, I hate all of this so much. Good on him for able to elicit that reaction out of me. But I was like, this looks so bad. I hate this.
Yeah, and I know the online reaction to it, like, hey, MJF is doing this angle again. Like people don't like it. It has like some serious connotations to it. But I think it comes from for not understanding. Lucha Libre. It's like the best way to get hit in Mexico is to insult the country. Right. We are very patriotic. Very patriotic. That's why Jeff Jarrett always goes to AAA and starts throwing tortillas to the crowd. It's very racist, of course, but that's a good way.
That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
So with MJF, when MJF gets into his pro-America bag, right? Like, sometimes he can stay out of the danger zone of going into something that's racist or xenophobic. But the problem with him is he'll say that stuff about Takeshita and it's like, oh, okay, you messed up with Takeshita. Yes. Now I don't want to see you do this ever again because now I know you can't be trusted to know where the line is. So when he brings it out, I'm just like, oh God, I got to brace myself for some bullshit. I think he actually did pretty well this time.
Of course, I agree with you, James. I think the Takeshita thing was nasty. Like, that shit was, hey, wait a minute. What did you say?
Right.
Like, that's very wrong. And I think he shouldn't say that again. But in this moment, I'm talking like in this very particular moment, in this very particular match, in this very particular feud, he did everything right. And then we had the Mystico entrance, which I think... it was something incredible. Like I said, Rich, before we went live, I went to concerts. I went to many events before. Like, I think this was the loudest. The crowd was the loudest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, and if you all want, I want to provide context to the song. Yeah. Like, chills, man, chills. Yeah. And I want to provide context for the people that don't know. The song which Mystico walked out, it's called Me Muero from the band La Quinta Estación. And if you search the video, the musical the singer falls in love with Mystico. Mystico is very featured on the video of the music of the song. So that's why the connection between Mystico and this song, because this song is a love song. It's about a girl who falls in love with a guy, but that guy is Mystico in the video. So that's the connection, and the song since then is very connected to Mystico's career. Very couple months ago, it was the 20th anniversary of the character of Mystico, so he walked out with the song in Arena Mexico. He got this. People sing the song and etc. And it was kind of a meme between the online community. Hey, Tony Khan, pay. You have paid for the final countdown. Now when you have to pay for this song, and he did it. I didn't. I wasn't sure he was going to do it, but hey, he did it, and it was very special. Very special.
Yeah, man. So just seeing it come through the TV, so like I'm sure like the way I received it is different than you did on the crowd. So when I first see him come out, I see he was wearing the blue Sky Team mask, which everybody has since corrected. Hey, this is Sky Team joint. It is a combination of his mask with a few other guys. But when I originally see, I'm like, oh, it's like he has a Sin Cara mask on, and then MJF last week said, when I think of you, I think of Sin Cara, and basically I grew up watching you wasn't shit, essentially. So this man comes out with that and peels that shit back, and then like you start hearing the crowd just get more and more into it. It actually kind of reminded me of like a twist on the Bad Bunny entrance, the way how epic it felt. But this one wasn't necessarily like a we cranked up thing. This was like, we fucking love this man that's walking out. He is our national hero. This is Wayne Gretzky. This is, Bret Hart in Canada. This is Mystico in Arena Mexico. It don't get no, like, bigger than this, essentially. Yes. And then, like, all of a sudden, I was like, why am I, like, about to cry? Like, what the fuck am I seeing? And I'm sitting there, like, tears is coming out. And I'm like, And then I just start thinking, I'm like, bro, like, Mystico, like, he came to America, and America failed him.
Yep.
And America has failed so many of us here. And this shit, like, crossed, like, into, like, a political message for me. It was like, this guy, like, America failed us all. They failed that guy. And then he came back, and they fucking love him. In this, he peels that shit back, and then it's just like, there's something on the other side of all this. And then it was like, this guy, Mystico, is a fucking superstar. All the stuff we heard about this guy coming in and he's this global icon, it wasn't cap. Like, this guy came out there and it was like, I just felt so connected and I felt like this was such a special moment. Like, even rewatching it, it was just like, all right, man, it's getting misty in here. Just seeing like how special that felt. And I imagine like, you know, he probably felt real good about that because his only crime in WWE was carrying himself like a fucking star, apparently. Yeah. And then you see that he gets his name back. They give his gimmick away in WWE. They just treat him like another number, essentially. I remember, they had him just being Alberto Del Rio's personal jobber at a certain point. And this is back when, I first started getting back into watching wrestling. I thought this guy was fucking sensational the first time I ever saw him. And then it just like slowly deteriorated because obviously WWE doesn't give a fuck, about Lucha Libre, and then see how special this is. And it's like, Rich, this is great.
You didn't hear it? You didn't hear it? WWE finally put authenticity to Lucha Libre. What are you talking about? They finally pulled the seal of authenticity to Lucha Libre. They finally did it.
Exactly. Who am I to forget? Yes.
Yes. Rey Mysterio told me that. Rey Mysterio told me that.
So I don't know what this song is. Like, I just felt the moment. Like, and it was just like, this is really one of the great pro wrestling entrances I think I've ever seen.
Yes. You know what it was like to me, just to give an example. 2000, I took the trip to Japan in the end of 2022 and 2023, and I saw Nakamura go to Noah to face Muda, and I don't know when was the last time Nakamura wrestled in WWE that wasn't, or wrestled in Japan and it wasn't attached to WWE officially. And it's one of those things where it's like, Nakamura washed up, blah, 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 and Muda beyond wash and political, just disgusting work the last few years in Noah. And then Nakamura comes out and you're inside of Budokan Hall, and like the crowd remembers who this person was once upon a time. And it's like, it's one of those things where when people talk about like the injury stuff, when someone's injured and it's like they come back through the crowd, like, well, they remember you a certain way. It's like you leave from where you were or you were one of those guys, that kind of special person, to this particular arena or this particular country or this region. And it's like, well, are they going to remember me that I left for whatever else or all that kind of stuff? Or when I, for a different opportunity, and then like you come back and you get that feeling. It's like, that was a special thing. And it was like, even beyond the Nakamura thing where like, I actually had to, like, I was texting like, Nakamura just came out of retirement for this. Like, it felt like he came out of the WWE retirement house to be Nakamura again. That I remember for first time seeing in 2015. Is like, you see Mystico in that interest, and you're like, I never had the chance to see him in his absolute peak of popularity in CMLL. But I, like Rich said, I saw him do spectacular stuff in the beginning in his first year in WWE before they decided to pull the plug on it or whatever else. And I thought, like, if he had to be incredible. And to see the crowd react to him take that, it was actually far more emotional than the Nakamura thing that I felt watching back then. And I was like, yeah, this dude, everything that I ever heard about that dude, it was true. Like, it's almost like, it's literally like, like when like episode 8 of Star Wars or 7 of Star Wars, when they like do the reboot of the new franchise, is like, remember the Jedi Knights and all how special, and they thwarted the evil and all that kind of stuff in the universe, in the galaxy, and it's like 30 years have passed, and it's like, you know, people said it was a fable, and then you run into an actual person that saw the Jedi Knights. It's like, everything you heard is true. It is like, oh yeah, okay. I see. It's one thing to read Dave Meltzer or Lucha Blog or hear people talk about Mystico and see on YouTube some stuff here and there or whatever else. It's another thing to finally experience it and see it live, and it's like, oh yeah, that dude was a wrestling god. Is a wrestling god. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I put the wrong kind of tense on that. He is a wrestling god. So that was fun. That was really fun. And then the match was a blast to watch. I gotta say, I thought MJF was on his best behavior, and I thought it was a really fun match to go along with all that. I thought, as you mentioned, I thought it was the best part of the night.
Yes. I don't know if I think you guys know this more than me, but I think this was probably the greatest moment a luchador has gotten in American wrestling history. I'm thinking Eddie Guerrero winning in WrestleMania the World Heavyweight title.
Beating Brock.
Like that's a big moment. But that's the culmination of the competition. New York fail a guy that's on a level of El Santo, of Blue Demon, of Mil Máscaras, one of the legends of Lucha Libre. That's Místico. It's that guy. Like, I know he's still active, and when you are ranking GOAT debates, but Místico, he is the responsible of the latest boom in Lucha Libre in the 2000s, and the second boom, which is CMLL is having right now, is thanks to him. And I'm very happy that he got this moment. Like, he got reivindicated in Mexico, because when he came back, he went back to AAA. He didn't got the Mystico gimmick right away. He got pieces with CMLL. He came back with Mystico, and he got his redemption. But now, in this moment, he got his redemption with American wrestling and with all fans around the world. And like I said, like you, Rich, you saw the Sin Cara mask. That's kind of a dig, isn't it? Like, that's telling New York, hey, I'm not Sin Cara, I'm this guy. I'm this guy, and you didn't know how to present me.
Yeah. I thought this was just like this is peak pro wrestling right here. Like, this was like the combo, the entrance in the match. The match like hit the perfect tone. Wasn't the smoothest thing you ever seen in the world, but it almost really wasn't about that. Like, it was like just this feeling that I would highly encourage anybody that didn't watch this match to check it out and watch how they were. This felt like when they talk about what working is, working the crowd. This was all there. The Hurt Syndicate was out there. And this thing like culminates into, you know, the La Mystica. MJF does like the visual tap, but the ref doesn't see it from MVP. And then MVP low blows Mystico, and there was disqualification from there. And from there, actually he kicked out of the low blow, and then MJF did a low blow in front of the ref, draws a DQ. Then he took Mystico's mask, which I was pissed hot. But this is like, you know, this is what Mystico does. He gets his mask taken. And then everybody came out, basically Bandito, Templario, Teton, Kevin Knight, Speedball Mike Bailey, and they cleared out the Hurt Syndicate, essentially, and they gave Mystico a backup mask. And from here, you're like, when's the second match? When is it? And is that all in, right? And MJF has put his hair on the line, right? If he loves his business.
Yes. This is a special message to MJF from a Mexican fan. Bro, you have to shave.
You have to shave.
You have to shave, man. If you are a real one, you are going to shave. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. If you don't agree, and we saw a 6-man tag in Dallas, and I'm giving MJF the benefit of the doubt in the Aniversario CMLL show. If you don't want to do it in Dallas because you want to do it in CMLL in Arena Mexico in the main event of the biggest CMLL show of the year, that's even better for me because maybe I can go to watch it.
Okay.
Yeah. But yes.
That's what should happen. The problem is we know he got on the plane to Turkey to get hair implants. I don't think he's exactly in a rush to go out there and get it shaved off. So we'll see.
James.
We'll see.
He's a real one. He's a real one.
I agree.
He's a real one.
But the thing is, I don't think he really is. That's the problem with him. That's the problem. He gets so much of pro wrestling, and then there's like 5% or 10% that's missing, and that's what's absolutely frustrating about him.
Look, hey, MJF, if you hear this, look, I know people in AEW listen to this show. Get MJF this clip and tell him, hey, you know that other 5 or 10%, this is how you tap into it. You know, you go out there and you flip what everybody thinks about you with these plugs. You know, we know you. We saw you talking about Turkey before. If you take the bullet on this, go again to Turkey.
Bro, you're a millionaire
at this Mexico. If you do this shit with Mexico.
Yes. You're a millionaire at this point. Max, you're a millionaire at this point. Shave and you get the AEW online crowd back. That's it, man.
And the thing about it is, like, we talking about just, like, when you do the shaved head thing, it's only 6 to 9, it's only 9 months to 12 months where you got to be bald and you can grow it right back. It comes right back, man. It comes right back.
It'll also work with the Hurt Syndicate gimmick, because then you can have Shelton and Bobby embrace him and be like, "You've joined the Brotherhood," essentially. You've done the ball thing, you know.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that.
Get that.
Yeah.
So Dallas or Mexico City for you, Max. I'm giving you until September. If you don't do it,
is there any? Okay, September. Okay, because I'm going to say, is there any chance that this is a Forbidden Door thing? Given where they,
bro, no.
I know.
No, you don't do that shit and send it. You don't do that shit and send it to the UK.
The Brits don't deserve this. The Brits can't understand it. Like, they're going to see an apuestas match. They're going to see an apuestas match, and they're going to do a shitty football chant. No, and I'm going to rant about this. The Brits don't get it. The Brits don't get it. The moment
I don't disagree. We just talked about the London School of Lucha Libre. I agree.
They don't get Lucha Libre.
I agree.
They don't get Lucha Libre.
You yelling at me? I agree. I'm sorry.
Like, no, I'm sorry, James, but we actually had that combo in the Social Suplex Discord before. Like, some guy said, "Hey, maybe for Forbidden Door," and I exploded. Like, "Hey, no, the Brits."
Okay, so I suggested that because of where they are when it comes to New Japan and trying to sell matches that will help draw, and like and I get what you're saying. They absolutely don't get it, right?
They don't.
They do get the idea that MJF gets his head shaved. They don't get they won't get the part of, oh my god, the peril of Mystico putting his mask on the line. They won't get that, but they will get the intrigue of this asshole and get his head shaved after he was a dick to Ospreay in Wembley last year. They would get that part at least. They only get half of it, and that's a problem. I get you. I agree. Yes. They only get half of it. I get you.
The only way that I would even think about signing off on this is if they do some type of video where Mystico tracks down the London School of Lucha Libre and gets that shit shut down. What?
Like,
what is this shit?
He's going to pre-tape like Swerve going to Nick Wayne's house and murdering the guys in London School of Lucha Libre or something, man.
We need to close this off. You know, where's your building permit? You know.
Oh my god. Yeah, shut this whole shit down.
Oh
man.
Yeah.
Who gave you the authority to start the school London School of Lucha Libre?
A Mexican is running this? Like, that's the question, right?
Right.
Or it was a Brit that saw a Lucha Libre match and said, "Hey, I can do flips. Right. I can teach Lucha Libre."
I love it. So I would, as far as the you said the list of
No, I'm sorry.
great moments.
I gotta continue. I'm sorry. Like, who is the person that bestowed this upon them? Like, who is like the equivalent of the Grand Hamada of the relationships between Mexico and England? There's no person like that. Man. I ain't never heard nobody like that. And watch somebody could be like, look, watch it. It's William. It was William Regal. Lying ass niggas.
Maybe a Mexican is actually ran that. You know,
I don't believe
who
it.
knows?
We should ask Osprey, I need to see this person. I need names.
Rich,
I don't think this shit real.
Rich, the next time you see Osprey, that's the first question, man. A Mexican actually ran London School of Lucha Libre.
The next time I run into Will Ospreay, which could possibly be in 2 or 3 weeks, you know, if I'm in the right place at the right time, I will ask him about the London School of Lucha Libre. You got my word.
You met Will Ospreay.
And if a Mexican didn't run it, what? Yeah.
Look, Rich, you've met Will Ospreay before. I have one time. It was really weird because actually I met him in 2019 when he was selling merch after that Bandito match we were just talking about. And I saw him and Meltzer have a conversation, and him and Meltzer had this, the way they talked to each other is like, these are two people that do not know each other. Like, these are two people that know of each other but are not friends or are not acquaintances or whatever else. But anyway, if I do meet Will Ospreay again, and Rich, if you're there, if you don't ask him, I'm gonna ask him. So you better ask him.
Let's go, man. Hard journalism right here. Hard journalism.
I mean, who was the head trainer at the London School of Lucha Libre?
And
was that shit even real? Was that some were you starting kayfabe before you even got into business? Were you in some backyard and you just made that shit up?
Bro, you watch YouTube videos and you made up a school name in order to get into business. We know that, man. We know that. There's no London School of Lucha Libre in England, man.
Right.
That doesn't exist.
Like, that's like almost like, you know, it sounds like, you know how the Young Bucks base were backyard and taught themselves how to wrestle? It's like, yeah, you know, we went to the Rancho Cucamonga School of Lucha Libre. Look at the fuck out of here.
Bro, and that's more real. At least that's in California. At least that's in California.
You can sort by, okay, like, yeah, somewhere they done messed about and taught us Lucha Libre or whatever else. So they grew up watching whatever else. London, that's on the other hemisphere. Get the fuck out of here. That's on a different continent, my nigga. You lying. Stop it.
So I was thinking about the list. This Mexico moment slightly beats out Mil Mascaras eliminating himself from the 1997 Royal Rumble to make sure he does no job. You know. So up next, we had the 4 million pesos high flying 4-way match with Ricochet, Hologram, Leo Rush, and Mascara Dorada.
Yes.
And man, I thought Ricochet was fantastic.
You talking about the $4 million tag match? This was a damn tornado tag.
4-way. Oh, you stupid.
It turned into a tag match. Either, hey, we got the two brothers over here. We're going to attack the Mexicans. That's basically what this turned into.
Yeah. What did how did this one go down in the building?
So for me, it was one of the matches that I was anticipating because I knew it was going to be for the setup is a 4-way in Arena Mexico, so I know I'm going to see crazy shit. Mm-hmm. And then I saw the participants of the match: Ricochet, Mascara Dorada, Hologram, and Rio Rush, 4 absolute ballers. I knew I was going to see something special. I was expecting Ricochet to win it, but in the arena I didn't remember Hologram is in a winning streak. Like he's undefeated in AEW.
Yeah, he don't never lose.
I didn't remember it. It's like you know what? Ricochet is going to win it, and they are going to do a bit where Ricochet is going to say I'm a millionaire, but then they are going to convert it to dollars, and it's like $200K, so he's going to be pissed. I thought they were going to do that because 4 million pesos is like $200K.
$1,000, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, so I thought they were going to do that, but then I saw Hologram pinning Leo Rush, And then in that moment, I remember, hey, wait a minute, Hologram is in an undefeated streak, so of course he's going to win it. The match was spectacular, and I was right. You are right, Rich. It turned into a kind of a tag team match. So that was kind of interesting. And by the end of it, Lio Rush got Kalimba chance, which for the people that don't know, Kalimba is a famous singer here in Mexico. Look it up, Kalimba, and you're going to see right away why people chanted at Lio Rush Kalimba. They basically are twins, man. So a very good match.
I don't even know what Hologram would do with money. Like, his whole thing don't really seem like it's tied to currency or spending dollars. Like, he's trying to transcend, the universe and stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But we got the CMLL women's match. After that was Mercedes Moné and Zeuxis. This is a rematch of actually a match that they did on TV maybe a year ago, I want to say. And this one, I love Mercedes' gear. Oh man, I thought her stuff all week was great. All the pictures I saw from it.
Yeah. This I like this match. Moné's on a run, man. Mercedes Moné's on a run. Probably the best run in her career. Zeuxis work great. I was a little interested in how the match was going to go, because I remember the match 1 year ago in AEW television, and it wasn't particularly great. It was kind of good. So my fear was, hey, we are increasing the show. We got the 14-man tag, we got the MJF Mystico, we got this 4-way match. So we are increasing in momentum, and I was feared that the match was not going to meet expectations. But again, I'm doubting one of the GOATs in American wrestling, Mercedes Moné. She was fantastic. She worked great. And she's now the CMLL Women's Champion. At the end of it, we got the Toni Storm segment. The pop for Toni Storm, man. She wasn't advertised, by the way. We didn't know. If we were. Yeah, she wasn't advertised. Toni Khan didn't tweet anything, or her face was in the posters for the show. So it was a surprise when we saw Toni Storm, and she got a great pop. People knew who she was, and it was kind of great, like the suplex and the bells popping like Sonic rings. It was great, man. It was great.
Yeah, man. This match had a cool finish too. She reversed a power slam off the top rope or something like that, and ended up getting a win. My favorite thing about the Mercedes stuff is the people that are so worked by her having all these belts and just so mad. And I'm like, all right, man. When you start zooming in on these belts, it's these belts ain't really like that, but it don't even matter. They're just mad she has them. It's amazing.
Yes, because you're upset. You're upset on behalf of Rev Pro. When's the last time you watched Rev Pro? I watched Rev Pro. I can tell you about how shitty their audio is. Stop it. You don't care. You just said that this woman is out here doing something outside WWE to success. That's it.
Yeah, that's funny, man. It's funny, dog. Then you got Mina.
No, hold on before we move on. You care about the CMLL Women's Championship? Tell me about their Grand Prix that they have every year. I don't even watch it. Come on, stop it.
Oh, the Women's Grand Prix last year was great, by the way.
I always want to watch it, and I just never get around to it. It's always on the list. I just don't get around to it.
Yeah. And also that thought of, hey, Mercedes Moné has creative control. He's stealing all these belts.
Right.
Shame on her. Again, I don't know about Rev Pro. I don't know about New Japan, but I can speak for Lucha Libre. Belts don't matter here. Belts don't matter here. What matters here are hair and masks.
Yep.
Real shit.
That's the thing here. Belts, sure. Some in some shows, hey, that title's on the line, big match, But belts are not the biggest thing like in Japanese wrestling or in American wrestling.
Yeah.
It's second level to hair or masks. That's why in the aniversario in the biggest CMLL show of the year, you are not going to see a bell in the main event.
Yep.
You are going to see an apuestas match.
Yep.
So people that are angry about that is like, they don't know, man. They don't know. Mercedes Moné, she's gonna carry the belt to Dallas, and she's going to drop it at some point, hopefully to La Catalina, because they have something going on, and La Catalina getting a win over Moné at some point is going to do wonders for her career. Mm-hmm. So hopefully it's her.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. At the long run, it doesn't matter.
Right. And typically when it comes to an AEW, when someone has like multiple belts, multiple promotions, the first loss that the champion takes is going to be on AEW television or pay-per-view before they start doling out the losses to hand them belts back. Like, you mentioned that, Mexico and the belts or whatever else. Like, remember how mad people were when Kenny Omega was the AAA mega champion? Remember that? Like, it's something, and it's like, they don't care. Like, it's just an excuse to get them hot matches versus, like, the Kingo and anyone else. Or Andrade, whoever else. Like, that's all it was for. Yeah.
And then he went back to Mexico and did a job anyway, like, after he wasn't the champion anymore.
Right.
So, like...
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just AEW gets to do this cool stuff the WWE will never do, and that's not fair. So what these other companies actually get is like, well, now that they're working with TNA, what does TNA actually get? No one cares, huh? Oh, okay, gotcha.
Get Joe Hendry getting a start making moment.
Oh man!
Selling 1,800 tickets in the UBS Arena now. Rub that. We got the main event. I can imagine by this. So at first, what was the building like? Was there like a lot of merch that was around there? Like, how was the merch stuff?
That's a great question, given AEW's history.
I think it was fine. Like in most of the merch stands, because it's Arena Mexico, so AEW didn't change a thing. Like, if you enter Arena Mexico, it was like you are watching a CMLL show.
Okay.
The only difference was the mat of the ring, which didn't have sponsors. It was a clean mat.
Yeah.
And the stairs, which normally has ads, but they cover it with AEW Grand Slam Mexico thing. And they cover some ads, and that's it. And that probably did that for television purposes. Mm-hmm. Because if there wasn't an issue, they probably would have let it like there. So in Arena Mexico, they have like established merch stands. Like I saw pictures in AEW tapings in the arenas. Like they have tables and they have stands. Like, and
so you can see the merch hanging from it.
The merch.
Yeah,
exactly. No, in Arena Mexico they have established stands.
Okay.
So they only drop the merch, and it was fine. You saw more CMLL merch than AEW merch, by the way. But it was fine, and it was like a particular change from the AEW taping to the normal CMLL show.
Okay.
So I think that was the point, right? Tony Khan or AEW wanted to present Arena Mexico like it is. I think that was the point, and that's the reason why they didn't change the majority of it, I think.
I just wish they had the girls out there, for the entrances. That's, since we keeping it, all the way CMLL, we need on each side 4 of them,
Man, I was actually one of the things going to the show is like, hey, how about presentation? They're going to have the CMLL announcer, like in Forbidden Door, they have the Japanese, the New Japan announcer with Justin Roberts, but no, they didn't have it. The girls, man, hopefully, it's always great to see the girls, the CMLL girls, of course. But I understand why they didn't do it. It's way different. The connotation of it.
It ain't worth it.
Different.
It ain't worth it.
Yeah, it ain't worth it. They did that, and the discourse next day was, "Oh my God, AEW did this."
Exactly.
So I think that was a good call. That was a good call. Hey, you want to see the CMLL girls? Pay the soup, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. So that main event, we'll get to it. Is Jon Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, the Beast Mortos, who had a wonderful week in the news, and the Young Bucks against Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, and the Ops, which are made up of Powerhouse Hobbs, Samoa Joe, and Katsuyori Shibata. These are pretty much some of the biggest stars in the company in this match. Like, that Ospreay entrance rung out on television big time. Seemed like the Swerve one did as well. The Samoa Joe one, the Young Bucks seemed like they got a good reaction. Tell us like how this felt seeing all these guys come through.
The reason why AEW got the 14,000 people in Arena Mexico was because of two people. I think I can put the responsibility and the reason why they put 14,000 people in Arena Mexico because of two names. One was Will Ospreay, and the other was Kenny Omega. And Tony, the angle last week, the week before was Beast. I love it. But the moment I saw that blood, I knew I wasn't going to get Kenny Omega in Arena Mexico.
Yeah, imagine. And you get MJF instead. Yeah, I know it's tough.
Yeah, man. I was when they announced the show. I was like, oh man, Kenny Omega in a singles match in Arena Mexico. He's going to face Templario. He's going to face Dorada. He's going to face like one of these guys. He's going to be great. And we didn't even get it, man.
Yeah.
Like
that sucks.
Yeah, like
that sucks. That was a straight bait and switch. That was a straight bait and switch on that because like they had his name, they had his face all over that shit, and it was like to yank it from a week before.
See, I didn't even realize that was going on. I didn't even see I wasn't even looking at the posters for it, but like now you mention it's like that sucks. That really sucks.
Yeah, because if you when you were walking to Arena Mexico, all the posters were Kenny Omega's face in it.
That's bad.
So when you I was like one block before Arena Mexico, and the posters like, hey, Grand Slam Mexico, Kenny Omega right there. And he's not even on the show, you know. So I think, and it's like, I've been day one fan of AEW. I know how Tony Khan operates. I know he has done this before, so I wasn't particularly like, oh my god, they did this. Like, oh, Tony Khan did it again. So I was kind of expecting it, but man, that sucks.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna run out at a certain point, but then I was like, nah, they're not gonna blow the angle. Like we probably won't see him till All In at this point, but. Yeah, so that stunk. That was one thing, but like Will Ospreay, the other guy that you mentioned.
Yes.
They sure seem to like him a lot.
We got elevated, man. We got elevated. This guy, he got received like he got received like he is an international superstar. He is that guy. People recognize him. Even like I am in Latin American wrestling, you discuss wrestling in Facebook, like in Facebook groups. So that's the kind of, it's not Twitter for us, it's Facebook. So when you discuss wrestling, of course WWE dominates the conversation, but when we talk about AEW, every single guy, even people that don't watch AEW, is like, hey, it's Ospreay guy. He's good. He's the best in the world. He's fantastic. And he got received like he is, like the best professional wrestler in the planet right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like it's funny because like, I talked about like the gym I go to, how as a trainer, and like I mentioned Will Ospreay to him, and he's just looked up clips, and like Rich, he went out his way to tell me, like, he saw clips of the Hangman and Ospreay match. He was like, he went again. He was like, Ospreay's incredible. He did it again. He keeps saying, he loves, every time he sees Ospreay, he's blown away by the dude. I'm just like, yeah, man. It's like, for Lucha Libre fans, for I think people that like don't really know much about wrestling, I think like he might be one of the easier people to ever get into. Like all right, I'm gonna show you a pro wrestling match. It's like I'm not gonna show you Okada Omega. That's too long. You're not gonna understand the intricacies of all that. But like just show you something that's fun. Like show them CMLL, like group their lucha tags. Show them Will Ospreay. I think they will appreciate that and understand that and gravitate to that faster than, maybe even some super hard hitting match. I think, or some technical classic. I think it's just easier to just get into.
Yeah.
What did you make of the Death Riders like come through? I couldn't really tell their reaction.
Why didn't they walk through the crowd?
Yeah.
Yeah, people. Maybe they were going to get jumped. Maybe that was the fear.
That's exactly why. Remember, Moxley runs in Puerto Rico, so he's used to people throwing batteries at him. He's probably like, "Nah, we finna go through this, man.
Oh my
God, we not finna deal with people throwing piss balloons at us. We not doing that."
Look, man, we take this shit seriously. It's like, hey, maybe the fear was getting jumped. I don't know. I'm just joking. Probably did it because people expected Moxley to walk through the crowd, and he's a heel. So hey, maybe I do the switch. I'm going in the entrance, and I'm going to get an easy boo. So either the case, the Dead Riders got booed. To be honest, like look, this Moxley run, man. I love John Moxley.
Yeah,
he's one of the centerpiece of the company, but this run. Hopefully, it's ending soon. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Yep.
That's it. Yeah.
That's the main sentiment. Is like we appreciate what John Moxley has done for this promotion over the last 6 years of pro wrestling, but this has not been fun. Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
How did Swerve and the Young Bucks
Blue Haven said land the plane. That's good.
Swerve and the Bucks. Swerve. People did the dance. Like, I was surprised when people did the dance. Because Swerve Strickland, it's like, obviously he's. If you follow AEW closely, Swerve Strickland is one of the biggest stars in the company. But in Mexico, there's not a lot of chat about Swerve. When people discuss AEW, people discuss Omega, people discuss Ospreay, people discuss Mercedes Moné, people discuss Tony Storm. But there's not a lot of chat about Swerve. So when Swerve's music hit, whose house? And a lot of people, Swerve's house. Again, another point when I knew, hey, this is an AEW crowd. People know the stars. People know the storylines. People know what's going on. This is not their first time watching AEW. So he got a very great reception. The Young Bucks, people know about them. They're also very mixed reactions in Mexico. They also have that reputation around here. Like, people like him, people hate him. That's also the Bucks reception in Mexico. So, but they got a good pop, and even if they boo them, they are heels, so that's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
But Samoa Joe, he got a fantastic reaction the moment the Ops, like, it's not the usual Samoa Joe music. It was the Ops song, and the tempo is not right there, because when you hear the Samoa Joe music, the song leads you to chant Joe, Joe, Joe. The Ops music, they don't have that. But people didn't care. They saw Samoa Joe. They saw Samoa Joe, and the moment it was Joe, 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 Joe. It was great. Samoa Joe got received like he deserves it. He's a living legend at this point.
Yeah.
Actually, his first Arena Mexico match for Samoa Joe.
Wow, I didn't realize that. But when they were going nuts for him, he was in the ring, I was like, well, like, his reputation precedes himself, and like, people saw a bunch of those matches online, regardless of however they saw him, and the dude was great for a really long time.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was very happy with that.
So this thing kind of culminated with Marina Shafir distracting the ref. Basically, Moxley was able to roll up Swerve with a handful of tights and all that. And then after, the Bucks and Moxley continued to whoop on Swerve. Unfortunately, I couldn't help Swerve because I was in Mexico. I would need a special pass to get in. And I'm trying to test the the state lines and all that. And then Hangman, as Daniel mentioned, came out with another monster reaction. It seems like he set himself up to get one of those.
Yeah, in the promo he mentioned, he's like, at the end of it, like, I can't be in here. I'm banned from the arena during the match, but they didn't mention anything about after the match. So sure enough, he kept his promise, and he's been saying he's had 2 big promises out here. He's gonna have to keep one of them at least for sure. Coming up in the next couple of weeks.
So he saves Swerve, but Swerve never really gets to like acknowledge that. Like he's kind of like disoriented in the corner and all that. Hangman cleaned house and had a face off with Moxley. Ended up giving Matt Jackson the buckshot lariat, and it was some elite lore. They were looking at it like, hey man, what the fuck did you do that for? And it was like, very dramatic. Yes. But Hangman was standing tall at the end of the night, and overall it was just like, I thought this show was so great, bro. Like I was like, for it, like this is like a one-off show. It feels like this needs to be an annual thing now.
Yes,
like they have to go to Mexico every year. It seems like a franchise was born. Yeah, a franchise was born. Hell, I wouldn't even take it as far. I was like, hey, maybe they've earned themselves a pay-per-view. Like, I know between Friday nights, Saturday nights, Sunday, I know they like to have the old timers on Sundays and all that. Can they give a Sunday up? Can they give a Sunday up? I don't know. So I love this show. Daniel, like, how did this feel about, like, when you guys walk out the building? Did it feel like you saw something special? Was it like, was it worth it?
And it was absolutely worth it. Unlike the main event, like you described, Hangman got another big reaction. People understood the significance of the boxer lariat to Matt Jackson. Yeah. People knew the implication of that. They know the relationship between them, the elite drama. I love the angle when I went back to the hotel and I watched the clip of Moxley watching right to the stairs and Hangman right there. Like, destiny is coming at you, Mox. Keep the belt warm. And at the end of it, it was the Dynamite tape. It ended. And I don't know if you know, guys, but they taped a Blue Panther match right after Dynamite ended.
Okay.
Which we got Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, how was that?
Man, the arena exploded because, again, Daniels... I was going to say it was the first appearances of Danielson since the injury, but that's not true because he was in the Dean show. But so it was his second appearances after Wrestle Dream last year. But again, he wasn't advertised. We didn't even know that Bryan Danielson was going to be on the show. So the moment the music hit, people went nuts. I went nuts. They cleaned house, and for the end of the night, they played the final countdown, which the entire arena chanted, sing it, and that's how the show ended. I think AEW. Again, I have never went to a WWE show before, so I can only compare it to a CMLL show. So it's different because, of course, it's not even the same thing. Yeah. Lucha Libre is one thing, American wrestling is another thing. Yeah. But the show was fantastic. It was absolutely worth it, and hopefully we get a pay-per-view or something. I think the crowd was hot enough to get us a pay-per-view. Man, Chicago can rest a little bit. We can have more shows,
Right.
Absolutely.
Like, we don't have to have Chicago with 8 shows in America or from AEW every single year. You can reallocate that somewhere else. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Any final thoughts, Daniel, about like the week kind of long experience, like with like CMLL and AEW Ring of Honor? Anybody that like you hadn't really like got to see in person before that, like, or somebody you didn't expect to really enjoy that you enjoyed?
Yes. So I also went to the Friday show, which was Fantastica Mania. It was kind of fitting that Los Ingobernables de Japón ended in Mexico. Titan was the responsible to do the final roll call. It was, and I don't know if it reached the news, but when he did the roll call, he didn't mention Naito or Bushi, by the way. So I don't know, politics maybe right
probably
there, but it was kind of fitting, even if that happened, that LIJ ended in Mexico. Like I said before, the highlight of the week was Bandido. He's phenomenal. He's world champion material. I'm not saying he should be the next world champion, but he should be in the books to beat a world champion at some point. And not the ROH world champion. I'm talking about the AEW world heavyweight champion, the actual world championship in the company. And the Leo Rush, he's great. He got one of the biggest pops when Kalimba went out in Friday. He was very loved and accepted in Mexico with the CMLL crowd. And I think that's the Bandido and Leo Rush. I think those two still stole the week in Mexico.
Oh yeah, man. Well, thanks for coming on, Daniel. I appreciate, the in-person perspective and you taking, a few hours out of your evening to come kick it with us and all that. Where can the people find you online? Where do you post it up at?
Man, I barely tweet, man. I barely tweet. So
plug the Discord. Plug the Discord.
I'm plugging the Discord, people. If you want to know my thoughts and a lot of people's thoughts, we can chat on the Social Suplex Discord. It's a fun place to discuss wrestling. We discuss a lot of topics, and I discovered it like a year ago, and I stayed here like. Trish and Sarah Wrestling Podcast, of course, you guys on One Nation Radio, Tunnel Talk. It's a great space to discuss professional wrestling. And so, if you want to know my thoughts, if you want to know, an overall place to discuss wrestling, the Social Suplex Discord is a fantastic way to discuss.
Oh man, that is awesome, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate you putting us over a little bit, at the end there. But any other questions you got for Daniel about Rena Mexico, James?
No, he answered them. I'm glad he was there, man. I'm glad he came on the show. This was fun.
Absolutely, man. We'll have to have you come back one of these days and all that and review something regular that, just has to deal with, like, we got to get you talking about the Fed. No, I know you you're not quite fond of the Fed.
Man, in my house, man, we don't like him. We don't like him. Man, I know that's not the topic, but that Rey Mysterio quote was nasty, man. When I hear it, I'm like, man, you are Rey Mysterio. You are one of our goats. What are you doing? But hey, that's what it is, I guess.
Oh, man. Well, we'll let you out of here, man. We're going to keep the rest of the show rolling. We got a lot to get to, but peace out, man.
Yeah, man. James, Rich, thank you so much to have me on your show, and I'm very honored to discuss wrestling with you guys.
Man, it's an honor for us too, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Thank you. See ya.
Yep. Peace.
Later.
All right.
Oh, man.
Let me see if
he's sitting there punching Rey Mysterio and I can't defend Rey. It's like he's right. Fuck. This does not feel good. Damn it. I hate this.
Shit. That shit's funny. All right. Let's see. Boy, the Brits don't deserve it. That was amazing.
That shit was funny as fuck.
All right. So we are back. Shout out to Daniel again for coming on the show. That was really cool. So I thought he would be an invaluable resource to talk about Arena Mexico. I didn't want to start talking about how all the Mexican people felt and stuff like that without, I didn't want to speak for anyone. Let's just say that.
Right. I get you.
But
tired of the price of everything going up these days? Groceries, rent, you name it. It's all going up. But not at Metro. They've got your back. Metro has lowered their prices and are giving you a 5-year price guarantee on talk, text, and data. One line, now 20% lower. Family plans, also lowered. Oh, and you also get a free 5G phone. All with no ID required and no activation fees. Stop by your neighborhood Metro store, visit metrobytmobile.com, or call to find out about their amazing offers. Bring your number. Not available if currently at T-Mobile or with Metro in the past 180 days. Guarantee covers monthly price of on-network talk, text, and 5G data for customers activating on an eligible plan. Exclusions apply. Details at metrobytmobile.com.
You want the best for your child. K-12 can help them gain the skills they need to reach their full potential while giving you the support you need to get them there. K-12-powered schools are tuition-free, accredited online public schools for students in kindergarten through 12th grade. Their state-certified teachers make online learning interactive and engaging, allowing your child to learn at their pace from the safety of home. Join the more than 3 million families who have chosen K-12. Go to k12.com/podcast today to learn more. That's k12.com/podcast.
Yeah, man. So yesterday was Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and the Oklahoma City Thunder won the NBA championship under kind of dire circumstances. There was a lot of fight going on. I thought at one point TJ McConnell turned into Isaiah Thomas. At a certain point, I think he scored like 12 points in a row in the fourth quarter or something like that. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
The Pacers led to close the first half. I thought there was a possibility that they win it without him. And then, it leveled out over time there, and, ended up getting the win. And then I was just like looking at the Thunder like, I don't love it. Like, it was just, I don't feel connected to these guys at all. This is just, it feels like test tube basketball, like algorithmic basketball.
It's a lot of, to a lesser extent, and I think it's also because we knew Steph Curry since he was in college at Davidson, and we knew Andre Iguodala, right? But it was a lot of the things that people were saying about the Warriors when they won 2015. It's like, it seems like it's a year or two too early. We haven't seen them struggle. They just immediately just won, and it seemed really fucking easy. Obviously, in 2015, the Warriors looked a lot easier than it did for the Thunder because their offense, they actually had a sophisticated, hard-to-guard offense. Their offense ain't that hard to guard. The thing is, what makes them special is their defense, because they have like 11 guys that are all good defenders, and they also just let them do whatever the fuck they want when it comes to swiping, hand checking, grabbing, reaching in, and all that kind of shit, and they get away with murder. I'm not here to talk about whether or not whatever they get away with, whatever else. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. That's how it works. But yeah, I think that, like, for example, like I was joking before the series started about like Lou Dort and Alex Caruso, they have diplomatic immunity. They're allowed to do whatever they want to. Guess who else figured out they have diplomatic immunity during Game 7? Your boy Cason Wallace. He literally grabbed TJ McConnell's left fucking arm while TJ dribbled his right. TJ McConnell's like, he has my left arm. Do you not see this, ref? And then he proceeded to not get called for a foul. Cason Wallace in the first half of that game should have fouled out. He only got called for 3 fouls. I was like, how did he get away with the other 6? It was amazing.
That happened when Jason Sullivan was guarding Caitlin Clark, and when Tiffany Hayes was guarding Caitlin Clark. They were doing the same thing. It's like the hand on the whatever hand's not dribbling the ball, like they're grabbing like the wrist, forearm area, and just holding on to it.
Yeah, it's I didn't see Cason Wallace do it all game. I just one particular was like, it was notable because you can literally see TJ McConnell look at the ref and say, he has my hand while he's dribbling with his right. Like, do you not see this? This is not legal. So, but yeah, man, like, it's just, I mean, I don't know how you start with any of this without just going straight to Halliburton in the first few minutes of the game. Like, he knocks down 3 3-pointers. Like, the third 3-pointer, they have to call timeout. He's talking that shit. He gets, you can see him mouth the word bitch ass nigga at somebody. He hit somebody with a ban, right? And it was like you just felt like, given what he's done the whole postseason and all throughout the year in the regular season, like, it felt like you were about to get, and hell, even the East Conference Finals Game 7 last year, not East Conference Finals, but second round when he sent the Knicks home at MSG, is like, you felt like we might be seeing something special, right? And before this be,
he was about to send them niggas home.
If that's what it felt like, he was capable of it. It felt like he was damn sure capable of it. And it just felt, and it was just, he goes down, and you know, at this point now, when guys go down, I don't even need to see the replay to see in slow motion to see his Achilles tear, and you can see it, the whole muscle buckle from the tearing. Like, he went down, I was like, and he immediately turned over the other way. I was like, same thing with Tatum. I was like, no. And then they zoom, and the layup on the other end, they cut back to him on the ground. He's literally tapping, he's hitting the ground, hitting the floor, like almost like tapping out just in frustration because he knows what happened. He knows what happened to him. And he's like, whether it's the pain or the emotion of, I put myself in this position through playing like shit and being completely ineffective in Game 5 to actually figuring out how to do something in Game 6 to, I'm actually controlling this game so far, the early moments of this game to, it's over. And now it's not, so not only is this over, next season might be over for me too. And I might never get back here again. There's a good chance I won't be back here again. It really sucks. Like, this might be his best, he's 25 or something like that, and this might be his best chance to ever get to win a title. And
yeah, this was,
it really stunk. And like, you know, it felt like the second half when they were able to, the Pacers were able to stay with them and even got the lead going into half, that 1-point lead. It felt a lot like the Doc Rivers like theory where he says, he used to hate when the star player on the other opposite team wouldn't play because he knows his team is by human nature is going to let down and it's going to be a closer game than it otherwise should be. And it was like that first half, it felt like the Thunder just like, whatever. Like, obviously both teams have the same Game 7 jitters or whatever else. Because no one plays a good Game 7, or like an efficient Game 7, because everyone's playing as hard as they possibly can, and that leads to, you know, bad shots or being tired and that kind of stuff affecting, you know, efficiency levels, whatever else. But yeah, man, it just, it really stunk to see. It just felt like inevitable. It was like, I know what's going to happen. Like, they're going to come out the gate, they're going to have some run, and sure enough, they had that big run, and it was like, this game's out of control, and then the Pacers get it down to 5 or 4 or something like that. But I was like, I don't think they're ever going to actually, you know, get this to a tie game or get it to a lead. And sure enough, that was the end of it. They had to run back and ended the game and took starters out with like 30 seconds left, some shit like that. And I was like, yeah, man, it was.
I feel like history stole something from us last night because I don't say this often. It felt like the Pacers were a team of destiny. Like, they just, like, went through the East, beating every seed higher than them.
Yep.
And, like, not really, like, having a difficult time with them really at all. And then they get, and they're so outnumbered or whatever, like, as far as, like, everyone's picking against them.
Yep.
They're just like, oh, why the fuck are they even, like on the court with these guys, and then like they shot the world in Game 1 or whatever, and then it just plays out. I don't think they'll ever forget Game 4. I know Dan Kaufman will never forget Game 4.
I mean, as long as he lives. Shea and dark skin Jalen, they completely just, that was an incredible fourth quarter by both of them. Yeah.
So it was like,
you know what it reminded me of? Remember how close, like, obviously the Spurs won most of those. Remember how close those Spurs Mavs 2000 series used to be, where it's like, it'd be on a needle's edge of who will win. Just a needle's edge. Like, the one year when 06, when Dirk finally beat them, was like, oh, because Mike Jones with that dumb foul for the and one on Dirk. It's like, they were always close, but the Spurs happened to always beat them more times than not. And it was one of those things where, like, finally one time it went their way. It was like, yeah, like, for the Pacers, this felt like their one time, it seemed like it was going to go their way. And, you know, we'll never know. And that's part that sucks. And like we'll go back next year. We'll come to next season, and it's like, yeah, the Thunder are going to be the favorites to win the title, and the Pacers. Who knows what happens? Like they're not going to be favorites to win the East because their best player or the most impactful player is out. And then the year after that, when Halliburton's hopefully fully healthy again, it's like 2 years in the NBA with this, like the way this whole structure is now with like, there's basically a hard cap is like this last time.
You can't predict nothing.
We got these 2 deep playoff runs they got 2 Final Four runs. We might never see them again with McConnell and Nembhard and Nesmith and Siakam and Obi Toppin and Turner. We might never see this team ever again.
DJ McConnell had them boys booty holes tight. I know that.
Yeah.
Hell of a fucking series for that guy. It's just like that man's a living legend in the Hoosier state at this point.
Yeah. And it's actually funny, like thinking about that is like he did not have the confidence to do those things or other parts of series early in the playoffs until it was like, oh, I clearly have to do this because Halliburton is compromised. He can't get by nobody right now. And then he's like, I got to do it. And then sure enough, he did it. You know how hard that is where like you're the backup point guard and you're not, and like you are a, set the offense type of player, mid-range shooter, no, like has the longest delivery to shoot a 3-pointer in the world. And like, he's not really a 3-point shooter, but like if it goes up, it's actually, you have confidence going in. Just, it takes forever to get it up, to catapult the damn thing into the rim. And it's like, once called upon him to lean on him to do this, he can do it. And it's like, that's not normal. This only his second deep playoff run ever. He's 31. Like, where did he summon this to be able to do this? This is a trust the process sixer. Joel Embiid could have used this. You know what I'm saying? Like, the contributions you got from this team, like this is one of those teams where it's like they hit lightning in a bottle over the last 2 years, where it's like these pieces are greater than these pieces as a sum are greater than the parts separately. Right? Like Siakam is a very good player, is a championship winning player, and somebody you can depend on. But it's like you're not going to run offense for him. You're not running plays for him aside from like post ups here and there. Like, but the part where like, yeah, you give him the ball or whatever else, do open floor stuff, whatever else, you trust him to be a smart basketball player. Like, that's kind of an understated thing in this day's NBA. And like, I really enjoy watching the team over the last 2 postseasons, and I may never get to see them play again. And it really sucks. And like, I don't know what to do with this Thunder team. Like, cause they were a team that with their age and their lack of offensive sophistication were a team that absolutely could have got. And I remember during the regular season, Windhorst on his podcast would talk about how like the people around the league would just, they didn't believe it. They didn't believe it in them. And I would be like, they don't believe in the defense, whatever else. It's like, no, when it comes down to it, if you don't feed them turnovers, if you put the ball on the rim and don't hand it to them, what are they going to do when they got to bring the ball up the court in a half-court setting? And like you kept seeing is like, it's a lot of Shea at the top. You set one screen for him, and then he got to make shit happen. It was a lot of like watching like 06, 07 Lakers, and it's like one man can only do so much when all 5 guys are keyed on somebody. There's not much ball movement. Watching Shea or whatever, a lot of it at times felt like I'm just watching some guy have to jack up some off balance 17-footer. Like I saw people better than him that have to do this. It didn't go far, but he has more talent around him than that. But you know what I'm saying? Like at times the team would get bogged down. So it was like I see why a lot of people around the league doubted this team. But then again, it's like, you know how good your offense has to be to not turn the ball over constantly against that Thunder team? And that's what made the Pacers impressive. Is like when they weren't turning the ball over, they were kicking their ass. So yeah, man.
Yeah. So all the Canadians can be very happy for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
What about the Canadians that play for the Pacers, like Nembhard and Mathurin? There are a lot of Canadians in this.
Look, there's a lot of Canadians.
There are a lot of Canadians. Like Dort's Canadian too. There are a lot of Canadians in the series.
Yeah.
These new dudes ain't just new dudes. These new dudes is Canadian.
Yep. Nemhard is a cold motherfucker, dog. Like,
oh boy,
one that he gave Shay. Oh my god,
brother,
yes,
that is a look. Nemhard is that boy nice all-star. Cause you know when people talk about bags, this is the problem with bags. You see him do all this shit in the highlight reel, you be like, that boy got a bag, and you watch the whole game, you be like, oh nah, he gotta be a third guard. That's a third guard. Like that's a second guard with a lead guard or a six man. That ain't no person you trust to be out here carrying the offense.
Cold.
Like
that nigga cold.
He nice until you actually really need it. He a luxury. He one of them. Neesmith also in this series at times he just could not stay on the floor. He kept fouling and fouling and fouling. He could not figure out a way how to guard anybody, Jalen Williams or Shea, without fouling this series. He fouled out 3 times? A guard, not a big man, a shooting guard, fouled out 3 times. You know how hard that is? So yeah, man. I thought it was really impressive, this Pacers team, because I just thought they just were not as talented as the Thunder were, and the fact that they got to 7, the fact that they were a hair away from being up 3-1 in this series, and potentially could have closed out in Game 6 and at home. Really impressed with them as an underdog team, especially given that like they had the underdog like long shot betting odds of like someone that was going to get swept, and they got it at 7 with their most impactful player being hurt half the series. So yeah, I feel like if you're a Pacers fan, like Dan, like you're never gonna forget this team. Like this is like the highs and lows of this team were like incredible. Like when you just think about 4 seed from the East, and then it's like they just smack everybody that's in front of them. They smack the Knicks, smack the Cavs, and then they make them look like bad matchups. Like that was a crazy thing. Because at least with the Cavs, it was because with Allen and Mobley is like all right, like you got the size advantage on the boards maybe, but like they're not going to punish us offensively. Like that's the thing we're learning more and more about, like these small ball lineups is like one of the things that I while watching this series is like. I just felt like when Harkenstein was in, like the Pacers had an advantage because it's like they can put Siakam out there or they can put Obi Toppin on him. It's not gonna be a problem. Like when it was Chet, it was like, well, Chet's gonna free run to the rim and get putbacks or a lob here and there that's gonna keep them on schedule offensively. And it's like if they had a big that you could trust more or a second actual big and not like a traditional big like another Miles Turner, it could have been like. What would the Pacers have been able to do if they were able to put someone with Siakam's dimensions on Shea or on Jalen Williams more? Because it felt like every time he ever was able to guard them two, they did not want to do that. They did not want to attack him at all. But like when it's Neesmith or it's Nemhard, it's like, worst comes to worst, I'll just elbow him the fuck out the way and just shoot over the top of him. So yeah, man, it just sucks that I don't think we're going to be able to see this team get another shot. Or at least against this field of competition, because like 2 years from now, that's a lot. I mean, this whole thing could be flipped up, right? Kevin Durant's about to be see Reggie.
I wanted to see Reggie get to touch the trophy. He didn't, but yeah.
So, but the thing that's scary about this Thunder team is like this was like the team where like you could have got them, and it's like because of their ages, so everything is like they might be even better next year. Like they might be harder. They're like Chet's 23. Like Chet and Darcy and Jalen are both like under 24. Like they're just going to get better. They're just going to get better. And Shea's 26, so he'll actually be he actually will be getting to his best years of his career in the next 2-3 years. So like this team should be better, or at least their best player should be better, and they can figure out the rest of the stuff around them. But yeah, man. So this could be they lucked. This was supposed to be the year they should have lost, in theory, before they started winning, and people would have paid more attention to them. But they already got one in the bank now, right? So congrats to them from that perspective. But like I will say, they ain't fun to watch. Offensively, it's not fun to watch.
Look, like, and now like immediately I started thinking, I was like, this is the squad that won the Thunder their first title. Not the Durant, not Westbrook, not Harden, not that whole group of people. And it was just like, those guys are almost now, like, they're going to reap basically the Thunder. Like, they're like, we are the Thunder, not those guys. I mean, like, they'll always be them in this, but they're like, we're the champions. And it just feels fucking weird. It's just like,
people talked about this back then. Like, I did the 30 for 30 on the Shaq Penny Magic. Like, there will absolutely have to be a 30 for 30 about, like, they had 3 future MVPs on the same team, and they were all under 23 years old. They made one finals, and they never played together again.
Yeah.
And then all three of, Durant wins 2 finals MVPs. Westbrook wins the MVP. Harden wins the MVP. And then, like, they're all, like, bouncing around the league after that. And, like, I don't know what, it's a weird thing. It's like, that picture of them in 2012 in Game 5 with them all on the sideline, arms around each other, is like, this is the team going to run the next decade. And then they never play together again. And then they all played with each other. Well, Harden played with the other two, again, on multiple occasions. It's just weird, man. It's just really weird.
Yeah.
And then you get this team, and it's like, okay, well, those 3 aren't as good as those 3. But, like, 4 through 12 is a hell of a lot better.
Yeah. Paul George probably had some thoughts watching finals. This. It's amazing.
Both teams. That's nuts.
Influential,
Yeah. Speaking of bag Twitter.
You mentioned it just a second ago. Durant traded to the Rockets.
Yeah.
I saw a great TikTok today from some young dudes. It was like a kid practicing free throws, and then somebody ran up to him like, "Hey man, you heard Kevin Durant got traded?" And then, like, he just ignored him, right? And then he was like, "Hey man, you heard Kevin Durant got traded?" He was like, "Hey man, who gives a fuck? Like, this nigga always gets traded now." Like, it's just like, now they have him with Thompson, Sengun.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't give up a whole lot to get him.
They didn't.
Desmond Bane drew a bigger haul than Kevin Durant.
But here's it. I don't know if you've heard about, like, the back channeling stuff about this. Like, Durant basically poisoned the whale the same way he poisoned, like, his get out of Brooklyn and get to Phoenix. He's like, he's basically being like, he's sabotaging every other place. Like, similar to Jimmy Butler. It's like, I want to go here. Except this time it wasn't like, I only want to go to Phoenix. It was like, I'll say Miami, or I'll say San Antonio, but I really want to go here. And, like, it was tipped off a year ago. I wanted to go to Houston, but, like, it didn't work out that way. But, like, I'm basically, like, setting all this stuff in motion to where, like, you're going to give me for pennies. So it's like, almost like if like Luau Deng, it's almost like if Luau Deng wasn't going to be in the Kobe Bryant trade, like Kobe Bryant would have been a Chicago Bull. It's one of those where it's like, I'm making sure that I'm going to be able to get to where I want to go and also have a chance to compete for a title. And it's like, all right, man, like, I'm cool with that. Like, what you do is exactly what they're missing, right? And I believe they have a young defense around him, and everything. But it's like, I got to see this whole team play for a few months before I have an idea of if they can actually win a title, or if there's going to be a 2 seed that might be able to play the Thunder tough. We'll see. Because honestly, like, for all the stuff we just said about the Thunder's defense, they ain't got nobody that can guard Kevin, no big wing, no big all-star wing. Like, that's the problem. Like, when people talk about, I saw this when people were talking about this Thunder team and how good they are defensively. It's like, yeah, that's true. But they have nobody for, like, the tall or big wing scorer. They just don't. And Kevin Durant is the embodiment of that. So, like, we'll see how it goes if they meet each other in the playoffs. That'll be interesting if it comes to that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a good move for Durant. Like, he'll actually get a chance to compete. If he
wins the ring, people will be like, even the ones that they're the naysayers about him and his words, so they'll be like, well, who are we gonna say? It was second year. I'm in Thompson. If you gonna say it was Jabari Parker, I'm sorry, Jabari Parker, but Jabari
Sengun.
What's your boy? Not Sengun. What's Jabari? Not Jabari
Smith.
Jabari Smith. Yeah, you ain't gonna say it's Jabari Smith. They're not gonna say it's Easton. You know what I'm saying? So not gonna say it's Van Vliet. So yeah, like I don't mind the move.
Got a good coach, Ime Udoka.
And it's a coach that like he knows before the MA ain't gonna put up with his bullshit. And by bullshit with him is like, you know, the sometimes the how do I say this? I pretend everything's perfectly fine. Meanwhile, everyone around me like is like being like, "Hey, bro, are you okay?" Like
he's so much older than everyone. It's gonna be so weird. It's like he's so much older than everybody on this team.
Van Vliet, but that's about it.
That's about it. And then the Suns, they got Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks. Dylan, the dynasty starts after you, Brooks. And then they traded him for 5 second-round picks and the number 10 pick in the draft this year. The Phoenix Suns, that owner, Matt, is Ishbia?
Ishbia.
They have put on a disaster class in asset management.
Yep.
Over the last couple of years, and it's only going to get worse whenever Book is like, "Hey, man, you might get me the fuck out of here." Like,
bro, I don't know if you heard this or Windhorse talked about this. They're going to sign him to a 2-year extension, a 2-year max extension. Now, now, hold on. That don't mean he'll end there, but like, but look, if you sign him to a 2-year max extension, you can get more value in trading him. But they gonna give it to him. The word is they gonna definitely give it to him. Like they ain't gonna try to ship him right now. They gonna ship him eventually.
And,
man, I
heard rumors about them trying to reroute Jalen Green.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
Here's the thing with Jalen Green. Isn't his destiny ultimately to be a guy that gets redeemed as a six-man guard on some like team that makes a Final Four? Somewhere down the line, don't that seem like that's what's going to end up with him? And don't he have J.R. Smith written all over him?
Bro, he is so freakishly athletic.
Right?
It's like, somebody's gonna like. He could be Zach LaVine, right? Like he could just be like that. He just plays for all these teams that never really win shit, and they win like 38 games a year,
right?
And like, I don't know, but like. It was like I would give him a shot. Like if I'm the Lakers, and it's like you need athletes, you need people. I'm like, all right, how low is he going for him?
You do it after this contract. Like it's not a good money deal now, but like his next contract is where when he'll start like basically redeeming himself in the league. Watch. Be like, now that he instead of him making $30-some million, he's making like 20. Now all of a sudden he's such a great guy to have on your team now. Oh, I see.
Like, kick him down the road for a couple years. Let's revisit him.
And he's only like 23 or some shit like that.
Right.
He's 23 and people already written him off. It's like, he ain't, at least if it was 26 or 25, I'd be like, okay, I get what you're saying. He's 23.
Yeah. I brought it up. The Lakers were sold to the owner of the Dodgers, Mark Walter, I believe is his name. He already had a percentage in the team. Jeannie Buss will retain her ownership, like operational ability,
and she has it in writing. Unlike Mark Cuban,
look at that.
Yeah, Jeannie Buss and Wick Grosbeck both have in writing that they're going to stick with the teams after they sold, respectively, the Lakers and the Celtics. They're going to stick around with the team years after they've sold it into transition. They both got it in writing, and I think they both got it in writing because they saw what happened to Mark Jackson, or not Mark Jackson, but Mark Cuban, and we're like, oh, that ain't happening to us. Absolutely the fuck not. We getting that shit in paper. Yeah. We will take it to court if we have to.
I got a great reverence for Jeannie Buss and the Buss family. Like 50 years of success, pretty much. Did a lot for the city, for the franchise, and it was like I always wonder. I was like, well, what's gonna happen like whenever like it's time for Jeannie not to do this anymore? Like, who's she handing the team down to? But I'm like, I don't know of any younger Busses or anything. Mm-hmm. So even if there were, it's just like they've never come into place yet. So giving them to, the Dodgers owner and seeing what the Dodgers have done in Major League Baseball, I was listening to Bomani Jones, and he echoed like what I was already thinking. At least it wasn't Saudi Arabia, because that was like That was the thing.
Do you know what some of your boys' equity group is tied to? It's tied to some. It's tied to some of that.
I do.
Okay,
I do, but it's
not. You mean full on straight like the George Steinbrenner or the Hal Steinbrenner to the Saudis joke. Okay, I get you.
Yes, I get you. MBS is not pulling up like, hey, I run this shit now. We do not have the sofas, on the side of Staples Center, on the side of the court. So it was like, at least it ain't Saudi Arabia, but and I was like, you know what? If it's the end of an era, what an era it was. Like, there's nothing we can do about it. Hopefully, the Lakers are, we're hearing all the stories about, obviously, the money the Lakers didn't have for extra things, aside from, like, player salaries. And, they made a lot of their money on their local TV deal and made a lot. But, that was their source of income or whatever. So,
yeah,
it basically takes the Lakers into a corporation. Now I look at it like,
it
was like, all right.
It brings them into where like the modern NBA owner is now, where like they have so much money now. A lot of it comes from tech money, a lot of it comes from private equity. That is like, oh, this is the old NBA owner of like. Yeah, they made a bunch of money doing X, Y, and Z, and now they're going to make most of their money off the team now. It's like, oh, we bought this asset, and it's a part of this huge portfolio of these other things that are worth billions of dollars. It's, we're never going back. Mom and pop days are over.
Yeah. It was almost like when all the arenas got modernized. It's like, all right, all the new era NBA arenas and the old ones, like they slowly get rid of those. This is like, the same thing for the ownership styles. And then whenever, the Celtics just sold, like a couple months ago, it's like the same kind of thing. Lakers sold for $10 billion. And that's like, it's mind-changing money. Like, it's like Jeannie Buss, like, cashed this thing out and managed this perfectly, apparently. So, hopefully success follows. I think it will.
I mean, yeah. Like, one thing I will say is after... It's kind of interesting, like, like I don't know what the situation is with Luka or whatever else, but like, a lot of this season he was sitting out with a calf strain, and if it's still there, he need to sit the fuck down for a long, long while. We can't be playing with calf strains no more in this NBA. No. These calf strains turn into, oh, you're done for this year and next year. Can't afford this shit no more. So boy, maybe that's why Nico's so low on Luka Doncic. Was like, oh, calf strain. All right, we put you back on this floor. You finna be out for 2 years. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe he was accounting for that in a way that we weren't.
Maybe.
And luckily, Luka didn't. That didn't happen to Luka, but but yeah, man, just crazy season. Crazy final championship round, crazy final game. One of the greatest players of all time is like immediately just went from like people had all this talk about Durant. It's like he wasn't the problem. Like they had a winning record when he played. When they didn't play, they were awful. Like, so he's still fucking awesome. He's just on a bad fucking team. And now he's on a really good team. And they're gonna make some noise. And obviously, Houston with a big star again. And it only took them 3 years to fix all their problems. They were a disaster.
They were awful.
They suffered for 3 straight years.
Awful after Harden.
Bro, remember we making them jokes? It's like, bro, everything I'm hearing about people, the way they're talking about like them Jabari Smith and Jalen Green teams with like it was like, bro, they sound like they talking about them niggas like the AAU niggas, like they don't know how to play organized ball. And then all of a sudden, like the bad contract, you can say what you want to about they had to give someone the money. It was a bad contract for Dylan Brooks and to get Van Vliet. And it's like 41 wins this year, 3 seed or 2 seed or 3 or 2 seed, whichever one. And they're like, now they have Kevin Durant. They have all these draft picks. They had a whole bunch of draft picks that they got, and they still have stuff to be able to, if they need to, make another trade for another star if need be. Like they fixed, like, you don't have to tank forever. Like, just don't fuck up. Like, when you get your opportunities, when you suck, just don't fuck up your draft. And don't get me wrong, they fucked up their draft. Like, they took Jalen Green instead of, what's your boy's name? Instead of Evan Mobley. They missed. They missed. right? But it's like just
this is me. I ain't letting Kevin Durant tell me how to do a motherfucking thing.
Oh no, that's
after his track record, like these last two franchises, nigga, you play, we GM, nigga.
Right? Yeah, like MA ain't putting up with that shit. MA ain't putting up with that shit. MA, like I don't know if you remember like what he used to do at timeouts like with like the Celtics. Like, you could see him in the sideline when they were out there having them bad stretches of offense. They just jacking up the shot, bad ISO threes or whatever else. He'd be like, what the fuck are we doing? You can literally see him say, what the fuck are we doing? So, yeah, man, like, if the main thing is, it appears that Kevin Durant has picked a coach that will let him coach. That's the main thing. If you have a star player willing to play for a guy that will tell him when he's fucking up, or when he's wrong, it can work well. Ty Lue and LeBron. Halftime of Game 7. You ain't doing enough. What you mean I ain't doing enough? Look at the stat sheet. You ain't doing enough. Hands in on 3. Let's go out there and be the 73. And let's go out there and be the 73-win fucking team. That shit works. If you get Tim Duncan and Pop, if you're willing to have your best player be, strip the ego down and be willing to listen to somebody piss them off, and still play hard, not shut down and quit on them, you got somebody. Ime Udoka seems to be able to tell I think it's because he played, I don't know, but like, he's able to tell other former star players in this league, you ain't doing the shit the right way, and they listen.
He also looked like he don't take no shit either.
Yeah. I mean, like, he also got to respect, this nigga.
He'll put them hands on you if he needs to.
Also, like, you got to respect this. This nigga pulling me along. Got to respect something. Gotta respect something.
Yeah. So WNBA news. First All-Star returns came back. The voting and all that, and man, the Indiana Fever League, man. One thing that was noticeable was I looked at the 2023 All-Star returns. The leading vote getter, I believe, may have been Asia Wilson.
Okay.
James, this year, Caitlin Clark leads with 515,993 votes. I want you to guess how many votes.
Like NBA All-Star return numbers.
I want you to guess how many votes there were in 2023 for the number one person.
Let's say 250,000. It's lower than that?
Bro, 35,000. This is one example of the transformational kind of
hey, how do I get out?
That has happened.
Don't clip this with me in here. Don't leave me out of this shit. You starting. I know you finna. I know you live in the nasty, sir. You are a nasty man. How do I? Oh, remember John Morant? Cover my face. Cover my face. Leave me out this shit. I want no parts of this. There's some nasty work on hand. I know how you get down. Leave me out of this.
This here is one example of like the growth of the league. This is positive, James. This positivity right here. So the second person behind Caitlin Clark was Nafisa Collier. She had 484,000. Then was Aaliyah Boston, 446. Asia Wilson, 394,000. Brianna Stewart, 367.
Wait, are you saying that Asia Wilson over the last 2 years, while not being the lead vote getter this time, is basically damn near 10 times her vote total?
Yes.
That's nuts.
Yes. Paige Becker's number 6, 312. Kelsey Mitchell, number 7, 277. Sabrina Ionescu, 234. Lexi Hull, number 9, 217, which is crazy. And then number 10, Kiki Iriafin, 213,000. I'll just name.
Can you go to where Angel Reese is?
Angel Reese is number 13. She has 173,000, which is, it looks very low for her.
Okay. Where's Jonquil Jones again?
Jonquil Jones is number 15 at 162,000.
Now, Look, we know that Lexi Hall has no business being in the top 10. We know this. That's agreed upon.
Yao Ming tags.
Yes, this is Steve Francis with Yao Ming, right? Angel Reese having more votes than John Cole Jones. Didn't she win Finals MVP? Didn't John Cole
did.
Finals MVP? She was the best player in the Finals last year, or on the Liberty. This is nuts. Like this, look. Obviously, there's always voting. Fan voting is always like this, even in the NBA, right? It don't help these arguments about the Stan Wharf stuff. It just don't. It don't about parasocial relationships. It just don't help. It don't. And I say this while recognizing that the best basketball player in the W is not a leading vote getter. I get that. The Feast Caller this year should be the leading vote getter. But at least, we know that Caitlin Clark, while she's on the floor and healthy, is a top 5 WNBA player.
Yeah, man. It's I kind of think even the more crazy one is Alicia Gray at the 168 because she's having a career year, and she's number 14, right behind Angel Reese.
No, there's one crazier. We talked about it. Dallas Wings.
Arike Ngumawale is number 34.
And is below Dejanay Carrington.
That is very bad. And because Arike has been awful, but DJ Carrington has been awfuler. Let's just say that. It's interesting, man. I how it works is basically the top 10 will be your quote unquote starters or whatever. The top 2 will pick the teams, and then the head coaches will determine the 12 reserves. So the coaches are going to fix some of this goofy stuff. I don't think we're going to see Lexi Hall in the All-Star game. There's a lot, to take away from this voting.
I hope now we didn't see LaMelo in the All-Star game this year.
Yeah, I looked that up the other day. I was like, yeah, this nigga was the Eastern Conference leading vote getter, and then they just
and he was he was the leading guard. It was that nigga said, "Fuck out of here."
Yeah. So I was kind of shocked that Angel's totals were that relatively low from what her perceived popularity is.
Well, it's it's a really bad team this year. They're a bottom 4 team.
Yeah. She only started putting it together the last 2 or 3 games too. She was off to a rough start.
When was the triple double? Was that 2 weeks ago or last weekend?
I think it was last week.
Okay.
But yeah, so we will keep looking in on it going forward.
Should we, is this here where we talk about how they should be utilizing Angel Reese? Who she should be patterning her game off of, or do we move on from that? I ain't gonna say it. Are you gonna say it? That's the real one. Are you gonna say it?
I think I might have said it in the video before.
Okay.
About Ben Simmons.
Somebody else that got compared to Ben Simmons a lot.
Some reason can I have a hint?
How do I say this? 4-time champion.
Oh, Draymond Green.
This is what we fought for. this is what we fought for.
This is who Joy Taylor says some interesting stuff on the Joe Budden podcast. She maintains that people would not know who Caitlin Clark is or not talking about her if it wasn't for Angel Reese. I kind of maintain that we wouldn't be talking about Angel Reese if it wasn't for she did. Caitlin's not the one we wouldn't be talking about.
So the thing for me when people say that stuff is do you think what you're saying is profound? Maybe you think it's profound because you think people will just immediately dismiss that. The answer is yes, that's right. Because that was for a lot of people their introduction to Caitlin Clark. Now that we're beyond that, if we never got an introduction to Caitlin Clark in that way, what changed as far as her game and her being first team All-NBA as a rookie? Nothing. Okay, so then what? Right? Like, it's like
her getting South Carolina the fuck out of here, like, happened before that, and dropping like 41 on them with a triple double. Like, that happened before the injury shit.
Right. It's like, okay, the injury thing never happens. Cool. Does she not then also like become the all-time leading scorer in the NCAA women's side? Like,
I think it still happens, James.
Like, are you talking about her popularity? Cool, whatever else. She's done nothing. Like, how do I say this? I think a lot of the things that people are upset or have gotten upset about with the Caitlin Clark thing is that, like, she has this unprecedented level of attention around her in this game, and people are trying to then turn it into pro wrestling where, like, if you can try to reverse engineer, how do you reverse engineer all of this stuff? And it's like, okay, you think of pro wrestling, it's like, all right, well, you gotta be, you know, a big bodybuilder, a charismatic talker, relatively, you can't be completely ugly, right? And hopefully you have some opponents we can put you against to make it all work, right? And you think that's how you build a star. Meanwhile, people
tried a lot of reverse engineering with Juju Watkins, like starting from the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
that's in the college season this year, where they sent her to Paris, and it was like, we're going to try to make you this international star, and only like that gym was empty, and it was like she's got further along to go.
So that's where I was going with this. It's like you see this in pro wrestling where they try to make another John Cena, another Hulk Hogan, another Tanahashi, whatever. It's
another
like,
Hove.
Yeah, that's getting. It's like you are thinking this like it's a math equation, and you're not realizing these are people, and certain things just draw you, whatever else. And this inside incident absolutely was the thing that broke her past a certain level. But it's like that comes down to timing. You can't control the timing of when these things happen. You can't control this. This is a fake. This is a real sport, right? So, like, I understand what you're saying. However, it's like, it's just the same thing as when people say, like, we didn't know who Taylor Swift was until Kanye West did the whole thing at VMA. It's like, but she was already multiple times platinum. So, like, this took her to another stratosphere, no doubt. But now that we're past that and she's the biggest pop star in the world, what is there else to say? We're like, she was already at a certain level. She already at a certain level of this, and then, like, she was already doing the quote unquote work, and then, like, this was her breakthrough thing and whatever else. And now that we're past this person blew up to this certain level of eyes and media attention. Like, you can't recreate that. So why does this bother you so much? I don't get it. So, like, what you're saying, it never gets me. Is like, oh, if not for, it's like, yeah, and I feel like if people just hit them with, well, and you'll be like, okay, what else do you have to say about that? And then you realize you either have something else to say or you realize they don't. It's like, all right, well, then you have nothing to say. Okay, great. Let's move on. And like, I'm still waiting for someone to ever hit these people with this, okay, you're right, and now what?
It's like, so?
Yeah, because it really is a soul. It's like, yeah, that's how this stuff works. Nobody, like, everybody gets a break in some weird way. Like, if it was so easy, you just literally be able to press a button. And we have people, and they have industries that are trying to press buttons on people, and they don't take off. Look at this Oklahoma City Thunder team. Like, they put Shay in J-Dub all in that commercial. They've been trying to make the Thunder thing off. It just don't work like that. Like, Anthony Edwards is never going to be as popular as Kevin Durant was. It's not going to be a thing. Why? I don't know. He's obviously a more captivating interview. He's obviously he's a better personality. He's more charismatic than him. It's just Kevin Durant was Kevin Durant.
Yeah. And
you can't control these things.
Yeah. I think a lot of people want ownership of, like, they want to be able to say they know why it happened. Like with Caitlin Clark, rather than being like, all right.
It's crazy that it never happened. It never happened before.
Like they have to talk them. It's almost like justifying a conspiracy theory. It's like, no, like it was this, and this, and it's just like, I always say, yo, it's something else. It transcends too many lines to try to box it in to one little reason or whatever. Like, that's why I was like, yo, it was like, yo, her popularity, yes, there might be like, she may have some unsavory characters in her fan base, but it's not just them. Like, there's no way it could be just built on them. Like, it wouldn't take off in that same way.
Right.
Because, like, there's other people they could get behind too that don't have it like that. So there's a coalition here, I think, on all this shit. And it's like, all right, man. And you know, Rose and I talked about it last week with you know, all the stuff with the Sun and you know, the fighting and stuff. And it was just like, I don't know, man. I ordered Christine Brennan's book today, so I will be receiving it for the plane in time for All In.
It drops what, the weekend or the Tuesday after July 4th, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I ordered a hardcover too, so I bring that thing on a book. So I actually sent an email to Christine Brennan. I have not heard back yet. I took a shot in the dark because I saw her doing all types of scales of various media and all that. So I was like, let's see if I can get a conversation with old Christine. So I will let you guys know how that works if it comes to pass.
That excerpt from the book that was on People Magazine today, that was very interesting.
Yeah, they uncovered that they tried to offer her a 3-on-3 position and then set it up knowing she couldn't qualify for it.
Also,
so either they were going to try to pull some strings or something, or what? I don't know. And she told him to get fucked.
Also, I looked on the date on that. They offered her that before Cameron Brink even got hurt.
So what was they going to tell Haley? Basically, you can't come?
Right. Like, is that because if Cameron Brink is hurt, they bring back that same exact squad that won it 2 years ago, whatever else.
Like Hamby, Ryan Howard, Cam Brink, and presumably Caitlyn.
Yeah. So it was like, all right, what was the plan? What was the plan of like the same stuff? If she says yes and the same exact stuff goes down and Cam gets hurt, what would happen? Do you then bring back Haley Van Lith and then you have no size? Like what is that?
Look, man, it's gonna be a whole lot of truth telling coming out in these next couple weeks.
Forget the part where it's like you clearly. Now, the one thing I didn't like is like they just singled out Taurasi when it's like, no, there's also a person that was coming back from a fucking ACL tear and wasn't even ready. And by the time she got announced to be on the team, wasn't even playing in WNBA ball yet in Chelsea Gray. So it's like there's also it's two things. It's two players that Caitlin Clark should have realistically been chosen over as opposed to just one.
We can notice Boston has traded Drew Holiday to the Portland Trail Blazers for Anthony Simons and 2 second-round picks. The Celtics have just sold their team and they tearing that shit up now.
Yeah, I mean, they gotta get out of. They gotta get away from the second apron, man.
Yep.
Like they're gonna trade out of some salary, and we'll see what Porzingis might be next. We'll see.
I wonder if they would take a call from old Rob.
For what? For who?
I don't know.
Because Porzingis, Luka and Porzingis don't fuck with each other because they did that in Dallas.
Yeah, that's right. Never mind. Can't do that.
I know you're saying like we need a lob threat. It's like, well, one, like lob threat and Porzingis in 2025 does not sound like they go together. Part 1B of that is like we need to figure out what exactly is wrong with Porzingis. Have you seen people be joking about what's wrong with Porzingis?
Yes,
that is not funny. Like, I don't know why they even joking like that.
They saying that man's out there,
They making HIV jokes with this man. It's like, first off, this man it's 2000.
Damn, Porzingis. You got the HIV.
It's 2025, and that man's a multi-millionaire. I don't think that's a problem, okay? And two, like I mentioned, Porzingis and Luka, they don't fuck with each other. At least they didn't in Dallas. Maybe they, who knows? But like, yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Piece it up.
Yeah, piece it up. Can the Crips get Luka in? Get Luka in and Porzingis and piece it up?
Yeah, Big U. Yeah, check in with Whack
100. Exactly, can Whack 100 get us? Hey, y'all niggas need to come together.
Come together, cuz.
What the fuck?
Oh man. WWE Saudi Arabia show this week. Apparently, there's already drama. Of course, if you have been under a rock, possibly World War III has started. U.S. started bombing Iran. Iran started firing back at Qatar. The U.S. bases in Qatar. There were WWE production people that were stuck in the Qatar airport that were already on the way over to start setting up the ring and the stadium and all that shit, and they're stuck. This is just another reason why they shouldn't be over there in the first place. They had to worry about these kind of things, but here we are. As it stands, this show is set to go on like normal, and it looks like a bed of ass on this show. So I'm going to read these matches off. James, can I get a star rating over and under on these 6 matches?
Okay.
In the King of the Ring men's final, we got Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. They wait to do Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes, and they send it over there.
Gotta remember, Rich, they making like over $20 million per show. Per page show for that. I said at least. I don't know what the numbers are. Back in 2019, it was in 20 mil per show, at least. So at 50, you got to give him something like Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. It's over there. So I'm gonna slap a 3.5 on it.
Asuka versus Jade Cargill in the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament.
I'm gonna slap a 2.5 on it.
Woo.
Yeah.
We got Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa for the U.S. title.
I'm gonna slap a 2 on it.
We have Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight.
Now I remember that match they had on a. You know how those takeovers, not specials, but the special episodes like Halloween Havoc, whatever else. They had one of those in 2019.
Yep, I remember.
That match was fucking awesome. I actually gave that match 4.5 stars. Raquel has not improved not one bit since that day. So I'm gonna give it a 3. Because at the end of the day, it's gonna be big women beating each other with shit. So I'm gonna give it I'll give it 3. Maybe they say you gotta curtail the violence, but so I'll say 2 and 3/4. 2 and 3/4.
Got Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross.
Ooh, Karrion Kross. Okay, 2.5.
And for your main event singles match for the WWE Championship, John Cena versus CM Punk. And today it was noted from Fightful that the wrestlers do not get bonuses for working these Saudi Arabia shows. These wrestlers are now just doing it for the love of the game. It is worked into their contracts already. So, Big CM, he ain't even going over there for the, he's not even doing it for none of the NBA. I'm pointing back and forth like Busta Rhymes. He's not even doing it for that.
Okay. So I think the highest match so far I gave was Randy Orton and Cody for 3.5. I'm gonna go ahead and get this 3.5. I'm just gonna say those are gonna be the 2 best matches. Because those two pairs gonna be like, we gotta outdo that match, we gotta outdo this match. So they're gonna be out here, and I quite honestly, given the age of CM Punk and John Cena and how bad John Cena has been, he's on an all-time run, and I don't mean that in no good way. I'm gonna say, yeah, him and the magic of John Cena and CM Punk is gonna be diminished to a 3 to either somewhere around 3.5 stars. Yeah.
That 2011 pay-per-view matches here with Punk and Cena and Orton and Cody Rhodes.
That's true. That's true. So that Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton is some SmackDown 2011 ass shit. Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, hope y'all have fun watching that. Hopefully they, I just hope in the words of Prince Nassim, I hope everyone's safe. I just hope they all safe.
I will be watching some of it. I don't know about all of it. I'll be watching some of it. I'll report back.
Yeah. I will probably have other things going on in life.
Now, I will not be watching it live. I'll watch it on delay. I don't look domestic pay-per-views for WWE. I don't sit through through all that time stalling shit. I ain't finna do that for over there. No, absolutely the fuck not.
Yeah. So no brothers got to go over to Saudi Arabia.
Oh,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But y'all, everybody have fun over there. You know, different kind of over there.
Different kind of fun. That ain't. I don't know about fun. This is. Is there anybody? Is there anybody that is for sure that was like stuck on the tarmac forever? That is on this. Randy Orton.
Maybe Orton.
Not Sami Zayn. I don't think Sami Zayn was allowed to come over by that point in time.
Nope. Solo, I don't think he was up yet.
Nope.
None of the women were there.
Nope.
Maybe Cena. I don't think
Cena had already bounced and started doing acting shit.
Yeah. This is maybe only Orton.
Yeah. It's like Orton. Yeah.
Man. Will Big CM be wearing the headdress? That's all I want to know. Like, he need to go over there and just fully embrace it. Put it on, bro. Put it on. Like, all the way down to the ankle. You know?
Do they go down that long?
I don't know. Shit.
I thought they normally end like, never mind. Whatever.
Hey, put it on.
I forgot. Like, why am I even indulging your nonsense? So you're trying to get jokes off. This nigga trying to turn into a damn wedding train. Like, it goes 10 feet long. Like, all right, nigga. All right. I see.
Yes. Brewhaven said, convert to Islam. Yes. I want to hear niggas say Allah Akbar before the entrance, nigga. Like,
CM Punk with no drugs is an asshole. CM Punk with no pork. Oh boy. That's a whole nother type of irritated. Oh man.
Crazy. I hope they don't get that man and be like, what do those tattoos mean?
I got one better for you. Right?
Is that the devil?
We just said Muslim CM Punk. How about Nation of Islam CM Punk? CM Punk, he gotta get rid of white women. Nation of Islam, boy, NOI Punk, oh boy.
Boy, who put the hat on? You know,
which one?
You know. They're saying CM Punk will be allowed to have multiple wives, you know.
All right. Gotta ruin it we gotta ruin it. You just had to ruin it. Damn it. Oh man. I want to go down the lane and start talking about like militant Punk, but he got too real with it. Polygamy Punk is crazy.
I mean, but I put it on. Put something on. The humiliation ritual will be here this Saturday. Y'all be there.
Okay. Depending on how whatever the reviews are for how bad it could get or how funny it could get, you wouldn't watch it? Even if not even to review it with me?
So like, I think the only way that I would be tempted to watch it is if it's some like Marufuji Kota Ibushi level disaster.
Or someone's wrestling on some broken shit?
Yeah, or it's just that bad. Like some 0-star DX versus Brothers of Destruction type level, like all the way down, worst match of the year type shit.
Okay.
I think that would be the only way.
Okay.
So we could clip it up, and I ain't above entertaining.
I ain't above
a quick buck.
God damn it! All right, man. All right.
Yeah, if it's a yeet versus no yeet, yes, exactly. That's the level we need to talk about if I'm gonna watch this. But if it's just regular
one of Roman's relatives in SummerSlam main events, that would get us all the time too. Yeah. Oh man. All right.
Yeah, Punk gonna
Damn
do his
it.
whole promo in Arabic. God damn
I
it.
just saw it. God damn
He got a match. He got a match. Hangman Page. You know.
How do you say empty-headed dumb fucking Arabic? Are you allowed to say empty-headed dumb fucking public in Arabic?
God damn it. Now I gotta type in Google Translate. All right, man. We gonna figure this out. Hold on.
All right, y'all. That's the end of the show. Be sure to rate us on app you're using to listen to this with. If you are watching on the stream, be sure to go to the podcast notes and go to the Red Circle link and donate there. Also, check out the Chop Tea store for One Nation Radio, and be sure to listen to other shows in the network. Besides One Nation Radio, you have Keepin It Strong Style, All Things Elite, AEW Match Guide, Wrestling Art with Chris Things, MSWE Adventure, Trish and Sarah Wrestling Podcast, and Tunnel Talk. Rich, do you have it up yet, the translation?
رأس فارغ غبي.
Damn it. Bye, y'all.
There you go.
Tired of the price of everything going up these days? Groceries, rent, you name it, it's all going up. But not at Metro. They've got your back. Metro has lowered their prices and are giving you a 5-year price guarantee on talk, text, and data. One line, now 20% lower. Family plans, also lowered. Oh, and you also get a free 5G phone. All with no ID required and no activation fees. Stop by your neighborhood Metro store, visit metrobytmobile.com, or call to find out about their amazing offers. Bring your number, not available if currently at T-Mobile or with Metro in the past 180 days. Guarantee covers monthly price of on-network talk, text, and 5G data for customers activating on an eligible plan. Exclusions apply. Details at metrobytmobile.com.
You want the best for your child. K-12 can help them gain the skills they need to reach their full potential while giving you the support you need to get them there. K-12-powered schools are tuition-free, accredited online public schools for students in kindergarten through 12th grade. Their state-certified teachers make online learning interactive and engaging, allowing your child to learn at their pace from the safety of home. Join the more than 3 million families who have chosen K-12. Go to k12.com/podcast today to learn more. That's k12.com/podcast.